property and access to healthcare. Mongezi Koko takes a look.
In July last year, the Gauteng High Court ruled that sections of the National Act, including the controversial Certificate of Need requirement, were irrational and unconstitutional. Prosecutors for the state are now asking the Constitutional Court to overturn that decision, arguing that the provisions are necessary to transform the health sector and give effect to Section 27 of the Constitution, which guarantees access to healthcare. Solidarity and other applicants counter that the provisions amount to limits on private medical practice, breaching Section 22, which protects freedom of trade, and Section 25, which safeguards property rights. The case now rests with the Constitutional Court, which will decide whether the NHI Act strikes the constitutional balance between state-led universal healthcare and protection of fundamental rights. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News.
Gauteng Premier Manyathela Show has downplayed the South African Human Rights Commission's worries that his planned mass evictions of people from informal settlements will be inhumane. Last week, Lesotho warned of an unprecedented number of removals and getting rid of informal dwellings. Lesotho also announced the operations will take place in the crack of dawn while people are sleeping. The Human Rights Commission has described his plan as dangerous, but he says the Commission has nothing to worry about.
We're not doing this because we're inhuman. We're not doing this because we are reckless. Myself, I'm a victim of Group Areas Act and evictions. My parents were moved from Edenvale to Tembisa when I was still a baby. I can't repeat that kind of things. We'll do these things as humane as possible, but we're not going to allow people that are taking advantage of our Ubuntu or want to hide behind our legal system.
Western Cape Judge President Nolwazi Mabindla-Boqwana says the recent spate of court shootings in Cape Town have demoralized workers and left communities scared. The judge and other officials met with Deputy Justice Minister Andrew Snell yesterday to discuss attacks at court precincts in Cape Town. On Friday, a man was shot dead at the entrance of the Athlone Magistrates Court. The attack came 2 weeks after another person was shot and killed in front of the Mitchells Plain Magistrates Court. In April, there was a fatal shooting in the corridors of the Wynberg Magistrates Court. Ntutuzelo Nene has more.
Cape Judge President Nolwazi Mabindla-Boqwana has described the recent court shootings as a scourge that has brought trauma for court workers and residents of surrounding communities. Mabindla-Boqwana adds that cases have also been delayed due to disruptions caused by the attacks.
And obviously the psychological impact it has on everyone, the magistrates, the prosecutors, legal representatives, communities and vulnerable people that come in the courts.
She adds that security will be beefed up inside and outside the court buildings to ensure public safety. Dutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News in Cape Town.
And Rupert Murdoch's children have reached a settlement in their long-running legal dispute over control of the mogul's media empire. His companies made the announcement yesterday, cementing his eldest son's leadership. The agreement resolves litigation after several siblings contested the elder Murdoch's efforts to install as successor his son Lachlan, who shares his father's political orientation. The new deal establishes a trust to replace the Murdoch family trust that had included Lachlan plus 3 other siblings. Under this new agreement, Prudence MacLeod, Elizabeth Murdoch and James Murdoch will receive cash based on equity sales and cease to have holdings in either media company. US media reported the value of the settlement would be at $3.3 billion to be split evenly among the 3 siblings. Gold is trading at $3,658.70 an ounce. The rand is at 17.47 to the dollar, 23.72 to the pound, 20.58 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.50 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy delays on the M1 North between the Killarney Bends and Grayston Drive. This is due to an accident between these 2 points. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the M2 West, bumper-to-bumper traffic between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Interchange.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures are at highs between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The Constitutional Court is expected to hear a challenge to the National Health Insurance Act brought by Solidarity, the Board of Healthcare Funders and other groups.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
Six minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show. It's great to be back with you on our show. I've been on 702 Breakfast over the last week and a bit, helping out, standing in for Bongani, and I'm so happy to be back here with you. Thank you for choosing 702 this morning. I hope you're good. I hope you're weak. Yes, it just started, but I hope it's really going well so far. We're going to have a different-ish show today. It's all about the Gauteng's greatest awards. This is the day we've all been waiting for, the day to announce the winners of Gauteng's greatest awards, powered by 702 and Yoko. And over the last few weeks, we have searched every corner of Gauteng to find the entrepreneurs who light up our province with their innovation, with their passion and their heart. And you have nominated your favorite spots. You voted, and today, as you've heard since Bongani's show, throughout the day here on 702, we're revealing the winners who have captured the hearts of the people of Gauteng, the creme de la creme of local businesses, the ones who have decided are actually the truly the best. So we're going to be revealing the winners throughout the show today, so don't be surprised when, in fact, at 9:15 on the open line, we're already bringing one of the winners. Before we wrap up the 702 open line, we bring another one. Before we start the conversation at 10 o'clock. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But we start with the 702 open line. You can call us on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Always appreciate your contributions and your inputs on YouTube as well. If you want to watch and listen to the show, you can go to the 702 YouTube page. Here's a question. Do you think there is something fishy with how the issue of the 121 dockets has been dealt with? Because I, for one, think so. Remember, the police commissioner a week ago decided to return the 121 dockets back to the political killings task team because they were sitting at head office collecting dust since the task team was disbanded on instruction of the police minister. Now, yesterday, the Madlanga Commission announced that it will start with proceedings next week, and the KZN Police Commissioner, General Ntantlam Konazi, will be the first witness. But the spokesperson of that inquiry, Jeremy Michaels, was then asked about the 121 dockets and whether they need original documents of that as a commission. This is what the spokesperson of the Madlanga inquiry said.
Firstly, on the 121 dockets, I think it's very important for us to say, firstly, that the public anxiety around the issue of the 121 dockets, which resides with the Political Killings Task Team, and given that the Political Killings Task Team is specifically mentioned in the terms of reference, it is then understandable that there has been a lot of anxiety around this particular issue. Having said that, the investigative team and the evidence leaders have been in contact with the South African Police Service, and we are not going to get into the details of those discussions, except to say that there is, to answer your question, there was no need for us to have original copies of the dockets. but that also that the Commission and the team had taken the necessary steps to ensure the integrity of the information. So we're not going to get into detail on that matter. It is very much historical now.
So they didn't really need the original documents. But remember, the presidency and the acting police minister were not happy with the National Police Commissioner's decision to return the dockets to the task team. They felt like the National Commissioner was somehow interfering with the work of the Madlanga inquiry, at least from my assessment, because the dockets are central to what the inquiry is investigating. In fact, here's Vincent Magwenya, the presidency spokesperson. He told us on 702 Breakfast last week that the president felt that the commission must deal with the matter of dockets first before anything is done. Meaning, I imagine, don't touch the dockets until the commission has looked at them and done its own investigations and assessment.
That is why, in the terms of reference, there is a provision that all urgent matters that must be referred for either for further criminal investigation or prosecution, those matters will be referred to the relevant authorities immediately once the commission has looked into them. And so we could have had a scenario, for example, where in their submissions, the SAPS leadership will have said this is priority. They will have made their submissions around the issue, and the commission, on weighing the information and the evidence on the matter, will have then immediately, this matter must be referred to the relevant authorities for further criminal investigation or prosecution. And so you do not have a case where there are delays that will be occasioned by the commission seeking to complete its work before matters are referred back to police for further criminal investigation.
So, and I get that, right? They're trying to safeguard the integrity of the commission, especially the issues that the commission will be investigating. But here's a situation for me. If the commission has to look at these dockets and nothing must be done to them, and then recommendations and decisions must be made once the commission has looked at these dockets, then we wouldn't have had the arrest that we saw. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? So we would have been sitting with dockets that have been collecting dust since the disbandment of this political killing stars team, and those dockets are still sitting collecting dust, when actually we could be seeing arrests while the inquiry as well continues with its work. I feel like that compromises the efforts to prosecute criminals that are being investigated if the dockets are just going to sit there. Justice is getting delayed the more these dockets sit and gather dust. We also spoke to Atlenda Mati, the spokesperson for the SAPS, on Breakfast last week, and she explained why they disagree with the president on this one.
We respect the president's views as well as the minister's views, and that is why the minister and the national commissioner met, so that the national commissioner can explain the legal implications of the police allowing dockets, murder cases to gather dust. So he did explain to the minister to say, Minister, we cannot, as the law enforcement body of the country, in which we are entrusted to safeguard, to serve and protect the people of South Africa, and to prevent and combat further crime from happening, allow dockets together, because legally we could be sued. Legally, we are defeating the ends of justice. If those families really take us to court, they would have a leg to stand on. So it is in the best interest of the administration of justice that we make copies, we keep the copies, but the work continues so that we can see, more arrests. And when you look at the track record, Clement, of the political killing stars team, the work, the successes are out there for everyone to see. I mean, from July 2018, they've been working on 333 dockets. Already more than 130 accused have been convicted. You talk about the killers of Cindy Somakaka. There's an engineer that was killed off the Alfred Nzo municipality. His killers as well. One of the employees actually actually, one of the people that were convicted is one of the employees, his fellow colleague at the municipality. The DA councillor that was killed as well, his killers have recently been arrested. So the successes are there. And
yeah, that's what she was saying. In fact, it hasn't even been a month since these dockets were sent back to the task team, and already you see the arrests. So what do you think is at play here? Why was there an attempt to put pressure on the police commissioner? Why did the president and the acting police commissioner, the acting police minister, Firoz Kachalia, why were they unhappy with the decision to return the dockets to the task team? If there are such successes with the task team, were they simply worried about how that may interfere with the work of an inquiry or what? Now that the inquiry says, well, it doesn't really matter that we don't have the original documents, why were they up in arms then? I don't know. Just stuff that I've been thinking about. What do you think is at play here? Give us a call on 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702. At 10 o'clock, we're going to speak to the spokesperson of the Madlanga Commission, Jeremy Michaels, about what we can expect when the inquiry begins next week. At 10:30, we're going to be joined in studio by Jeremy Loops and Sibongiseni Shabalala from the Ladysmith Black Mambazo. They've got an incredible concert coming up that they'll tell us about. At 11 o'clock, we do our World of Work feature. Today, we're discussing the benefits of flexible work for us as workers and for the businesses we work for as well. And then 11:30, we do our Health and Wellness feature. Today, we're looking at the dangers of the misuse of antibiotics. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Clement and the team, it's good to have you back on our regular show. What I'm saying is, with the docket, I thought it was weird when the president started meddling, because usually he would say, no, I don't want to interfere. Imagine having a president interfering in the runnings of the government. You guys will say, hey, the president is interfering. But all of a sudden with this docket, he had something to say. So I found it a bit weird to say, how, since when do you interfere? So for me, that was like a bit, something is not right there. And the president, for some reason, he doesn't mind interfering when it comes to those dockets. So someone somewhere, they're not telling us the truth as to what's happening.
Yeah, look, and I did ask Vincent Magwenya, aren't you worried about political interference? Because this is an operational matter. That's not where the president should be playing. Hey, Kustas, you calling from Midrand. What do you think? Hi.
Hey, good morning, Clement. The reason when Clement there was pressure for these dockets not to be touched is one or two reasons. It's because the people implicated in the political killings in KZN are mostly probably ANC people. And the presidency knows about this. Mr. Bean knows about this too. So that's why they're putting in pressure on making sure that these dockets are not touched. That's the reason Sibia is so desperate, Clement, to get back to the office, because everything has to go through him first, because he's the head of crime detection or something like that. So there is ANC implicated people there and some business people who might have contributed one or two in the ANC something there. So those people now need political protection. And what these politicians are doing, they do what they've always done, to become the defenders of these criminals behind the scenes, even though some people have lost their lives in a crime. That's what is at stake here. That is just my thought.
All right, Kustas in Midrand, thank you so much for your thoughts. 19 after 9.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
So, this is the first time I'm actually back on this show since the tragic news 2 weeks ago of the passing of our colleague and a friend of some of us, Tsidi Madia. And I want to say this because some people find it weird that I don't want to engage about this on air. There was an incident, in fact, yesterday on 702 Breakfast where someone sent a voice note and mentioned Tsidi and how they're going to miss her political analysis, which was great. It was a lovely voice note. We played it. And I chose not to dwell on that because I knew that I was going to break down, and I don't want that, not on air. And I know some people felt that was cold, me not dwelling on that and commenting back when people talk about her. So I don't mean any harm, or I don't mean to come across like I don't care. It's just too painful and too difficult to navigate. So even the smallest mention still triggers some of us. And I want to say this because I'm going to be engaging with you, obviously, every day, henceforth, right? What happened 2 weeks ago has been very difficult and very heartbreaking. I don't think words even describe fully how we feel as friends, more so her family, the colleagues as well. So we're in so much pain and we're trying to find a way to deal with that. And we are at that point where, well, at least for me, every time that is being discussed, it really breaks me and takes me down a very hectic emotional path. So I'm asking that please bear with me and keep us in your prayers. If you send a voice note and you mention CD, as you should, and I want you to be comfortable to do that, and sometimes I don't respond to that, please know that it's not because I don't care, but I'm still trying to find a way to muster the courage to talk about her like that on air in the past tense. And I know I will get there, but for now, I just don't have the strength. So I thought I should explain that so that there's no awkwardness when I don't comment on certain things during this time. I hope that you understand. It's 22 after 9.
Life is full of moments. Some are small.
Surprise, I got you a matcha latte.
Some are big.
Surprise, we're having twins.
For all those moments, there's the new Haval H6 SUV with a spacious interior and voice command. It's built for big moments. Get it from only 6,699 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM. Go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
What do partners of the Gates Foundation do when facing the world's toughest challenges? They keep going. From discovering a plastic drape that helps detect excessive postpartum bleeding faster, to developing better bed nets to kill malaria-carrying mosquitoes, to researching an RSV vaccine that could save hundreds of thousands of children. For every problem, there are people who prove that progress is possible. The Gates Foundation, partners of human potential. Learn more at gatesfoundation.org/keep going.
Whenever you hear deep in the heart and art of jazz, think Sia Makuzeni with the big band, Jasmine Horn, Alun Wad, The Baylor Project, Jose James sings Badu, Umusangare, Esperanza Spalding, Michelle Dugiocello, Elaine, Tezo, Munei, Mondli Ngobo, and many other spectacular icons. Think Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, 4 stages at the Santon Convention Center, 26th, 27th and 28th September, and take me there. Book via Ticketmaster.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
So every business begins with heart, right? But it thrives with the support of its community, and no one backs Gauteng's entrepreneurial dreamers like 702, Yoko, and you. As I've said to you earlier, over the past few weeks, we asked you to nominate and vote for your favorite local businesses, and you showed up. And now the spotlight shifts to the winners, Gauteng's greatest. And what we're going to do now is to announce the winner in the category of Greatest Steakhouse. And the winner for that is the Butcher Shop and Grill. And the owner of the Butcher Shop and Grill is Danny Pig, who's joining us in studio. Danny, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning, Clement. I'm very good, and you?
I'm good. Congratulations, man. How are you feeling?
Thank you very, very much. Feeling very good, honored. Very much appreciate it.
Yeah, listen, this is what people have voted for. Tell us more about the Butcher Shop and Grill. What makes you special and different from the others?
Okay, well, I mean, the Butcher Shop and Grill, I like to think of ourselves as an institution in South Africa. It started by my father, Alan Pick, roughly, I would say, conceptualized 1994, opened 1995. So we've been around for some time. For those that know my father, he's a larger-than-life personality and very much behind the success of the Butcher Shop and Grill and why we are still around today.
That's amazing. Where do we find it?
So we are based in Nelson Mandela Square It's the original location in which we opened. I think we close to almost 35 years, something around there. So yeah, open 7 days a week, 364 days a year. And yeah, anyone wanting to come and visit us, yeah, that's where we are. Santon, Nelson Mandela Square.
Yeah, and I've been there and I've really enjoyed myself, and I would really encourage all of you to go check it out, the Butcher Shop and Grill. And once again, Danny, congratulations to you. Your excellence hasn't gone unnoticed. We see you. You're the best of the best in Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702 and Yoko. Now, being named Gauteng's Greatest Steakhouse takes more than flame-grilled perfection. Table, the newest point of sale solution by Yoko, will revolutionize your restaurant with seamless ordering, effortless payments, and instant updates, all from one sleek system. Keep your cool even when the heat is on. Book a free table demo at yoko.com. Remember to show our winners some love. Go visit them, experience their excellence firsthand. Keep supporting local small businesses and stay listening to 70T because there are more winners to be revealed.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
Very good morning, Clement. Clement, look, man, ANC doesn't want to deal with crime. The problem is some of the people that they love or that they associate with are involved in these criminal activities. They don't want these people to be exposed and really be known for who they are. That is why the president always is interfering with the issue of law enforcement, of which is unfortunate. One would have thought that Ramaphosa was there to really deal with the issue of crime and also create opportunities for jobs for most people of South Africa who are sitting at home, unemployed, qualified. It's disappointing. Mushere.
Good morning. This is Bongani from Rodiport. Listen, people, this is crystal clear. Those files are explosive. They are extremely, extremely explosive. And they are involving very high profile people. So it's not rocket science. So no wonder why they are very angry, why those files came out, So yeah, it's crazy. They just don't want those files to be in the public domain. Thank you.
Clement, you're 100% right that justice would be delayed if the dockets had to sit at the commission before being returned. And I think that that's probably the whole purpose of that. I think that maybe the commission is another delaying tactic to make sure that those dockets never get prosecuted. Why? Who knows? But it doesn't make sense if the commission says themselves now that they don't need the originals, why the political leaders are saying that they need to put everything on hold.
Good morning, Mr. Manyathela. It's good to have you back. Clement, I think the interference of the president there, it leaves a lot to be desired, especially given the arrests that have made already after the dockets have been released. I don't know why he has to interfere with those dockets, because now as we are talking about serious cases there. Those cases are supposed to be dealt with as a matter of urgency, and now they are supposed to go through the commissions and stuff. That's the work of the police. They have to do their work on those dockets. He must not be interfering, otherwise it will leave a lot to be desired. A lot of people are going to rise up against him for that thing. I don't think it's right at all.
Spiwe, you are calling us from Johannesburg. Good morning, Spiwe.
Morning, Clement. How are you?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Thanks for coming back, man. I just want to make a comment on this on this thing. I think the writing is on the wall, man. The writing is on the wall. It's clear that the president has got some high-profile people that are involved in this, and they are actually doing a cover-up. Remember, most recently, the nephew of Jacob Zuma was also implicated in political killings. So it could be that the president has got some people that he's close to that are also implicated in this docket. So he's trying the best he can to cover up.
Okay, Spiwe in Johannesburg, thank you for your thoughts. More of your calls and WhatsApps after the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. It's 9:30. Sister, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Some economists have forecast an increase in economic activity in the second quarter of the year when Statistics South Africa releases the latest GDP figures today. The economy started the year off sluggish with a 0.1% growth in the first quarter. The anticipated momentum is expected to come from rebounds in mining and manufacturing. With more than 300 cases of financial misconduct confirmed at the Department of Water and Sanitation, pressure is mounting for a complete procurement overhaul. The department's Director General Sean Phillips says the current system is too bureaucratic and open to abuse, warning that administrative fixes alone won't prevent future failures. And President Cyril Ramaphosa will face questions in Parliament today, ranging from the imposition of new U.S. trade tariffs, the ailing Postbank, and the purpose of the national dialogue. It will be Ramaphosa's first appearance in the National Assembly since the mid-year recess in meetings, his obligation to answer questions from MPs at least once a quarter. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 10 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
We've got an accident reported on the M1 North right near the Crown Interchange. Delays from Boyson's Road. There's also queuing traffic due to another accident seen on the same route, the Mark 1 North. This is right near Grayston Drive. Delays coming out of Marlborough Drive towards Corlett Drive. And do remember that at Corlett Drive, we still have got those faulty traffic lights causing delays as you approach the M1 exit. And there's also queuing traffic on the N3 North in the Kelvin area. This is between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu Interchange. While traffic on the N1 South towards Midrand remains very slow between Samrand Avenue and Olifantsfontein Road. We'll have more updates. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 702 Afternoons.
With Relebohile Maboja, 1 to 3 p.m.
So maybe you can just touch on the fact that legally grandparents can go to court for access to grandchildren, but we also are fully aware that there are valid reasons why grandparents sometimes do get cut out of the lives of children.
It is important for grandparents to remain important connection to their families, especially their grandchildren, because what we've seen in today's families or systems, we find that there's a cultural drift where children cannot longer learn important rituals that families used to have.
Dr. Leta Selamulela Musima.
702 Afternoons.
With Relebohile Maboja.
Let's walk the talk.
Looking for your next big business move? Well, saving on your business insurance is the smartest move you can make. Switch to Outsurance Business and you can get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium for butcheries, convenience stores, restaurants, pharmacies, and other industries. Outsurance Business have trusted experts in business insurance. Get a hassle-free quote today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed insured and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Medical care, like music, needs continuity, a steady rhythm and pattern. Patients attended to on time. Medication taken as prescribed. Cut the rhythm, and it falls apart. Right now, global funding cuts are restricting access to healthcare. With your support, Doctors Without Borders can continue to provide medical care to communities worldwide. Because medicine, like music, only works when uninterrupted. Doctors Without Borders. We go there.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Whether it's a sun-soaked beach escape, adventure-packed tour, or luxury cruise, Flight Center is your go-to for travel. From flights and hotels to tours and cruises, we've got it all. Plus travel insurance for peace of mind. If you want the best deals, you can save more by taking advantage of our Bundle Plus Save offer. Plan your trip today at your nearest Flight Center store or visit flightcenter.co.za. Flight Center, your center for travel.
Backed by popular demand, legendary jazz icon Kenny G will be performing at the Super Bowl at Sun City on Friday, the 3rd of October. Get ready for an unforgettable night of timeless hits and pure musical magic. Get your tickets from webtickets.co.za. Brought to you by Breakout Events and 702.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
25 before 10 o'clock. Let's continue with your calls on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702.
Hi, Clement. Mike here from Ivory Park. Welcome back to your show. My question regarding these dockets is why were the suspects not being arrested before the task team was disbanded? Because they always been there. It's not like they suddenly investigated after the dockets were returned 2 weeks ago. They've always been there on the list. So, but they were not arrested. So suddenly after the dockets were returned 2 weeks and we're seeing some arrests. So it smells a bit of political interference, if you ask me. Thanks, Clement. Have a great show.
Look, anything is possible, hey? Anything is possible, because let's also remember that we are dealing here with top cops who are trying to also protect, because careers are on the line here. This inquiry is going to come up with recommendations, and of course, the recommendations are not binding. I mean, recommendations of commissions are recommendations. This is not the Public Protector's Office, for instance. So the recommendations are going to be there, and there are certain people that may lose their jobs. So I don't think it's far-fetched for people to start using even these dockets to start positioning themselves as heroes. For instance, the National Police Commissioner could argue that, and I'm not saying he's in the wrong, or Shadrach Sibiya. Shadrach Sibiya could also try interfere in his own way, or the National Police Commissioner, or even the former, the suspended, or what do you call the minister who's on special leave, or the KZN Provincial Commissioner. Anything is possible. These people are central to the work of this Madlanga inquiry. And some of them are going to come out of this process tainted. So anything is possible. And that's why you have to handle matters with the sensitivity that they deserve. And that's why I said a part of me understands where the president and the acting minister is coming from, but I'm not completely convinced by their argument, right? They're saying, why are you touching these documents because they are so central to the work of the inquiry? Like, this is very sensitive, because then people take these dockets, and then because you want to prove that the political killing sus team was doing a great work, or you want to prove that there are people that were being investigated by the political killing sus team that may be associated with high-profile individuals, then you end up even pushing for arrests, maybe even when the cases are not ready. So it could be anything. But at the same time, justice gets delayed when the dockets are just sitting somewhere and collecting dust. The work of the inquiry can continue, and yes, that must be appreciated, how sensitive matters must be handled. But the police must also continue to do their work, especially because some of these dockets, as we've been told by General Mkhwanazi, some of the dockets actually have, they are awaiting arrests. So why would you want to give those to the commission for I don't know how many weeks? What happens to the people that were almost about to be arrested? What happens if they pick up that the political killing sus team was on their back and they start arranging to leave the country to escape arrest? It's very, very, very fishy. But I think we need to open our eyes here, because I bet you people are going to try to use what is happening, the authority that they still have. They're going to try and do anything possible to protect their careers. And we need to be alert. And that's why I was asking the question I'm asking this morning. What do you think is at play here? Because I do think that for the president and the acting minister to weigh in on an operational matter like that, the decision that the National Police Commissioner has taken, it made me feel a little uncomfortable, because that's an operational matter. They shouldn't be playing there.
And Mr. Manyathela said, good morning, Solomon here. I just want to say this. Not all the people on the ground, they knew what was happening. Those that are the seniors that made sure that, our ministers, police ministers and all that, they knew who were they protecting. What I'm saying is let the investigations continue, let the witnesses be called, and I'm telling you, or if proper people are put in those places of investigation, and the suspects, they will crack and they will tell who were they working for. And mark my words, you will be surprised that even your elite, your senior ministers and all that were protected. And we all know that some of these people were sent. And you might also be surprised that even our president is involved in this. And they've been hiding these things just to protect him or to protect those that he loved or those that are in his corners. Thank you.
Good morning, Madimeja. The dockets must never form part of the commission at first, because the docket contains criminal statements that are still to be used in the criminal court should the matters go to that extent. But now, if we are going to have the dockets handed over to the commission, then the commission will be taking over the duties of the criminal court. The commission will be acting as a criminal court. So the president must just leave the dockets with the police officers and the National Prosecuting Authority and not interfere, because it now takes us back to the separation of powers. It's not supposed to interfere with the administration of justice. Manchester, I like the guy, but he's interfering big time. Thanks, Ronald from Jowick.
Clement, this is when we need the activists to show up with a clear message. And those who love this country will join them. We march to union buildings, we march to Cape Town, the parliament, and with a clear message that President, move away from the dockets. It's none of your business. As simple as that. We shouldn't sound so desperate and helpless. Thank you, City.
Clement, I trust you are well. This is Pedro from City Deep. You know what? Ramaphosa and Feroz Kashaila should have kept quiet about those dockets, because I am curious now. I want to know what are those dockets containing. Like the way these things are happening, Clement, it reminds me of the Epstein files in the US. Our politicians, they like to hide things.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
Hi, this is Julia De Bruin from Sandton. I like 702 because it's even-handed. Everybody and anybody can phone in, express their opinion, and everybody is treated with respect. So you get a good balanced view of everything, lots of information, lots of interesting things that you would never have otherwise known about. You can find out via 702. Whether you start listening at 5 a.m. if you can't sleep, or whether you're still awake at night at 10 to 12 with all this.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts,
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
Mzansi, set your sights on playing Powerball and Powerball Plus for 114 million rand in total guaranteed jackpots this Tuesday. You heard right. Play Powerball for the guaranteed 57 million rand and Powerball Plus for the guaranteed 57 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in-store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda Pusha Play must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Do you know what's hiding behind colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front-of-package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front-of-package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by 30 September.
This is Jade. She'll spend hours comparing almond milk and once made a spreadsheet just for sneakers. But when she found Santam, SA's leading short-term insurer that offers a range of cover options, from vehicle to building and home contents, even she didn't overthink it. The kind of freedom Santam gives you takes some getting used to. Speak to your broker. Santam, this is freedom. Santam is an authorized FSP, a licensed non-life insurer and controlling company for its group companies.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
So, as we've been telling you this morning, this is the day we've all been waiting for, the day to announce the winners of Gauteng's Greatest Awards, powered by 702 and Yoko. And over the last few weeks, we have searched every corner of Gauteng to find entrepreneurs who light up our province with their innovation, their passion, and heart. And you nominated your favorite sports, you voted, and today, since this morning, we are announcing the winners. And right now, we are going to announce the winner in the category of the greatest coffee shop. Like, what's the greatest coffee shop in this province? And guess who the winners are? Josie Lava. And the owners of Josie Lava are in studio with us, Chris and Ruth Newman. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah?
Thanks, Clement.
That's really quite exciting. When did you guys start Josie Lava?
So it's Josie Java. I can see you haven't been yet. You haven't had the experience.
Oh, yes, Josie Java. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have my experience because you've just given me a voucher to come have my coffee.
Yeah. No, 100%. So we started in 2023. We started with a little mobile coffee bar, a little trailer.
Yeah.
And we've grown to 5 stores and hopefully franchising soon. So it's been an amazing 2.5 years. And just had such a loyal customer base. Just people taking us places just based on that relationship.
That's amazing. Where are the shops, Ruth?
So we are based at Monty Circle Office Park. We've got a little coffee trailer in a boomed area, actually in the area where we live in Green Parks. And then we have got 3 at 3 different Fords. They've supported our business, which is really great. They've sort of word of mouth passed on to one Ford to the next.
Yeah.
And that's where we're based.
That's amazing. So what is it that makes you special? Like what differentiates Josie Java from all the other coffee shops?
I think coffee is such a great thing. I think it's the one thing that's kind of got you. I saw a little interview once that's saying, you know, coffee is like the greatest thing. Everything after that in your day is kind of like a pain in the bum.
Yeah.
But it's having that personal relationship, like knowing Clement's name, knowing like his coffee order, and just the ability to make your day. You know, so we've got to know all our customers. Our customers love our story, and they love to support us. I mean, we've got a company in our office park that order their lunch from us every day. We've got them coming through 3 or 4 times for a coffee, you know, so we've got that reoccurring business and that relationship with people. So I think that personal touch is what it takes.
What's next for Josie Java, Ruth? What do you guys still want to achieve?
Well, I think, like Chris said, we're talking about franchising now, which I suppose at the beginning we never really thought about. So it's something we've had to ask ourselves as a business, like what are we here for? Where are we going with it? Chris has also spoken about a roastery. He's really excited about that. So I think it depends on also where our customers take us because they sort of direct us. We word of mouth we've grown, so it depends where the next word goes. Do you know what I mean? Like where the next door opens, and that's the way we've traveled so far and grown so far. So I suppose, we're just seeing where the next path takes us. The next opportunity opens.
Well, I can't wait to see the next chapter of your business. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through, and congratulations. Your excellence, as we've been telling all the winners this morning, hasn't gone unnoticed. We see you, and you truly are the best of the best in Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702 and Yoko. Now, serving the best coffee in Gauteng takes more than a good roast. Yoko Counter gives business owners the power to track sales, manage stock and stuff, and take payments quickly, all in one system, straight out the box. It's the smartest till you will ever own. Ready to upgrade your business? Well, go to yoko.com. Please remember to show our winners some love. Go Google Josie Java, go check them out, go have some wonderful coffee and some lunch there and experience their excellence firsthand. Keep supporting these local businesses and stay listening to 702 because there are more winners that are going to be revealed throughout today. Ruth And Chris, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
10 minutes
Thanks,
now before 10.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
10 minutes now before 10 o'clock. Let's go back to your WhatsApps on 072 702 1702.
Hey, you know what? Cupcake was elected because he was going to be the darling who will deal with crime, with criminals. But so far, he has been the best cover-up person I've ever known. Like, he protects all those who has made sure that he gets this presidential seat. This is how I see it. Even himself, that Pala Pala story, wow, he's just, like nothing happened.
Clement, Clyde here from Brecon Downs. The problem is that those dockets, how have they been socialized already? What was the chain of movement for those dockets? Remember, there are witnesses and witness statements. So having them in the wrong hands, they know exactly who to silence. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Look, and to be fair on the president, right? I don't necessarily feel like, he was just trying to protect someone. I don't know, and that could very well be the case. But I'm not 100% convinced that it is. I just think that he raised the concern, but in raising that concern, we must be concerned because that's an operational matter, and he ought to know better that it's an operational matter. There's a National Police Commissioner who he has confidence in because he has appointed the commissioner. So you must then accept and trust in the decisions that they make. If you don't trust them anymore, if you think they've gone rogue, they shouldn't be in that position. But for as long as they are, then at the very least, just understand that they will take decisions. Some of them you may not be happy about them, but this is a person you've appointed, and you must at least trust in that they are taking decisions that are good for the SAPS. So I think the president was probably trying to say, let's safeguard this Madlanga inquiry, but in the process was interfering in an operational matter. And that's where you and I come in. We have to be alert and we have to pick these things up and say, this behavior is questionable and it concerns us. And they have to back off at some point. And that's why even the police minister, when he met, the acting police minister, when he met, if you want to call him that, because how many ministers have we had of the police? When he met with the National Police Commissioner, they then decided that the dockets will be sent to the Madlanga inquiry in the format that they require. And the Madlanga inquiry said yesterday that actually copies are fine. The dockets can stay with the political killing task team. We didn't really expect to be receiving dockets from the task team. So I guess the matter is settled now. 7 minutes before 10 o'clock.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
So the International City and County Managers Global Exchange Program, brought to you by Salga, is currently underway in Joburg. The program brings together municipal leaders from across the world to share knowledge and practical solutions to common local government challenges. And Ray White is there right now as we speak. So let's check in with him for a quick update here on 702. Ray, thank you so much for coming through, man. What is the program all about? I believe the mayor, Dada Morero, was talking about his own city. How did he explain what has been described as a crumbling city?
Hi, Clement. Good to chat to you once again. You see, this has been the whole thing because we all know what Joburg is about, and there's some serious issues there. I mean, our very own president, Cyril Ramaphosa, spoke to the premier a couple of months ago and said, we got to fix things. Our mayor did address the conference, and it's interesting because Joburg Mayor Dada Morero, addressing the proceedings, he says initiatives are underway to fix Johannesburg, and let's be fair about it, there are, you look here and there and you can see that. But let's take a listen to what he had to say.
This week, as we deliberate here in Sandton, you'll also see Johannesburg that is investing heavily in its infrastructure. A massive infrastructure renewal program with nearly half of our capital budget devoted to maintaining and expanding core assets. A determined push for clean and safe public spaces, where residents reclaim streets, parks, and trading areas as inclusive spaces of dignity.
So there you go, Clem. You can actually hear what he's saying. He's saying, no, we've got this whole thing underway, but a lot of people in Johannesburg may disagree with that because we're not where we are supposed to be.
Yeah. What have been some of the key points of advice for our local councillors there?
You see, this is the thing, and you'll know this as a politics editor, journalist, you'll know this. There's this whole fine line between political and service delivery. And there have been sort of arguments here saying, take the politics out of serving local communities. Let the professionals do it. And there's people here from Texas, from California, from all over, and they form part of the International City, County, Municipal Managers Global Exchange Program. And they are saying, rather get the professionals in. Julia Novak, she's the CEO, also Executive Director for the International City County Management Association. She says it's quite simple. Take the politics out of serving communities, let the professionals do it. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
The origin of appointing someone on the basis of qualifications was to provide two things for local government. One was professional expertise, and the second was organizational stability. And it is those two things combined together that increase the capacity of the organization to implement the policy and solve the problems without fear of political repercussion.
Here we go. No fear of political repercussions. So there's a hint of what our guys should be doing.
Yeah, Ray White, thank you so much for that update. Now, across South Africa, municipalities are under pressure to deliver services and restore public trust. The International City and County Managers Global Exchange Program and the Talent Management Seminar gave leaders the chance to learn from their international counterparts and to share South Africa's own solution on the global stage. Stronger leadership means stronger communities. 30 minutes now, before 10.
In ancient Corinth, as Alexander the Great approached the philosopher Diogenes and offered to grant him any wish, Diogenes simply replied, "Stand a little out of my sun." At Plus 94 Research, we believe in illuminating the path to informed decisions. By removing the shadows of uncertainty, we let the light of data-driven insights shine through. Don't let assumptions cloud your vision. Step into the light of clarity. Plus 94 Research, the science of decision-making.
Corporates.care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch Corporates.care this Wednesday at 10 to 9 featuring Netcare. Their group CEO, Dr. Richard Friedland, will be in conversation with Bongani Bingwa. Join us every Wednesday as we highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates.care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and make a difference together.
Unlock exciting bonus prizes when you top up your Betway account with a Betway Bucks voucher. From millions in cash and bonuses to extra bets and so much more, every top up is a chance to score big. Head over to leading retailers, including Pick n Pay, Checkers, Pep Stores, and Incredible Connection, and top up with Betway today. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. South African Responsible Gambling Program toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know when to stop.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
All right, coming up after the news at 10 o'clock, we are going to continue revealing the winners of Gauteng's Greatest Awards powered by 702 and Yoko. But after that, we're going to have a conversation with the spokesperson from the Madlanga Commission, Jeremy Michaels, so we get a sense of what we can expect when the inquiry begins next week. It's 10 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. We start with news just in. A manhunt is underway in the Eastern Cape for gunmen behind the shooting of 2 women and a 9-year-old girl. The triple murder happened in Gqeberha last night when neighbors reported hearing gunshots before finding the victims inside a house. Paramedics declared the women aged 40 and 65 and the child dead at the scene. The police's Pogazi Mawisa says the motive of the attack is unknown.
Police will stamp their authority in ensuring that those involved are apprehended. They will leave no stones unturned without apprehending suspects and confiscate any weapon used in the commission of crime.
Some economists have forecast an increase in economic activity in the second quarter of the year when Stats SA releases the latest GDP figures today. The economy started the year off sluggish with a 0.1% growth in the first quarter. The anticipated momentum is expected to come from rebounds in mining and manufacturing. Nowukayam Dambo takes a look.
Energy, mining and manufacturing improved in the 3 months through June, supported by little to no load shedding and driven by reasonable global demand and rising domestic demand. Mining output rose 3.9% in quarter 2 after contracting a massive 4.1% in the previous quarter, driven mainly by platinum group metals, gold and chromium ore. Manufacturing production increased by its strongest quarterly gain since quarter 2 in 2023. Economists at Nedbank believe agriculture is likely to have moderated from its strong start. Favourable weather conditions kept crops and horticulture positive, while struggles with animal diseases remained a drag on livestock. Despite a better performance expected in the period under review, some economists have warned it's not enough to pull the economy out of stagnancy. Experts expect GDP growth of 1% for the whole year, averaging 1.5% over the next 3 years. Nogukanyam Dambo, Eyewitness News.
With more than 300 cases of financial misconduct confirmed at the Department of Water and Sanitation, pressure is mounting for a complete procurement overhaul. The department's Director General, Sean Phillips, says the current system is too bureaucratic and open to abuse, warning that administrative fixes alone will not prevent future failures. He's calling for a shift in government, including single point accountability, better planning, and the appointment of professional procurement officers to handle major projects. Mongezi Koko reports.
Earlier this year, Director General Sean Phillips told Parliament that procurement in government often reduces to ticking boxes and that multi-billion rand infrastructure projects need professional expertise from start to finish. He's reiterated this today on 702.
In terms of regulating and trying to control, we tend to be too bureaucratic. We tend to reduce things to ticking boxes.
The department says it is taking disciplinary action against officials referring cases to law enforcement and normalizing past irregular expenditure. Phillips argues that until government shifts away from rushed, underplanned programs, South Africa will keep losing money to poorly run projects while communities pay the price when water systems fail. Monkey Zikoko, Eyewitness News.
And President Cyril Ramaphosa will face questions in Parliament today, ranging from the imposition of new U.S. trade tariffs, the ailing Postbank, to the purpose of the national dialogue. It will be Ramaphosa's first appearance in the National Assembly since the mid-year recess in meeting his obligation to answer questions from MPs at least once a quarter. Later this week, his deputy Paul Mashadile will face questions in the National Council of Provinces. Lindsay Dentlinker has more.
Last month, the United States introduced new trade tariffs for South Africa that President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday told BRICS heads of state are already having an impact on employment. Labelling the tariffs as senseless, today EFF leader Julius Malema expects Ramaphosa to explain what impact he thinks they will have on current and future diplomatic relations with the United States. The ANC's chief whip, Mdumiseni Ntuli, meanwhile wants to know how government intends supporting the Postbank so that intentions for a state bank can be realised. The DS chief whip, George Mikalakis, has posed a question about the intended outcome of the national dialogue, which the party boycotted last month, and whether it's intended to facilitate economic growth, poverty reduction and job creation. Ramaphosa is also expected to give an assessment of the G20 presidency so far as the country heads into the final months before handing over the presidency to the United States. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Gold is trading at $3,658.70 an ounce. The rand is at 17.47 to the dollar, 23.72 to the pound, 20.58 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.50 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 South between Marlborough Drive and Corlett Drive due to an earlier accident. About a 15-minute hold-up there while travelling in and out of Midrand. Delays on the N1 approaching the Olifantsfontein Road off-ramp as well as on the southerly direction of this route. This is due to an accident. Please be on the lookout.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. A manhunt is underway in the Eastern Cape for gunmen behind the shooting of 2 women and a 9-year-old girl.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
6 minutes after 10 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the second hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702. We will be announcing before we get to the latest in Eyewitness News headlines at 10:30. More of the winners in the Gauteng's greatest awards powered by Yoko and 702. But what I want us to do now, before we get there, is to continue the conversation that we started on the 702 open line this morning around the Madlanga inquiry, which is expected to begin with proceedings from next week. And looks like it's all systems go. We've got the spokesperson who'll be speaking to us in a moment.
You're with Clement Manyathela.
702.
In fact, let's bring in Jeremy Michaels now, who's a spokesperson for the Madlanga Commission, joining us on the line. Mr. Michaels, thank you for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. Good to be with you.
I want to start off with a conversation I was having with the listeners just before 10 o'clock on the open line around the 121 dockets, and we'll later talk about the infrastructure and the readiness of the inquiry. But from the clip I played of you from yesterday, you seem to suggest that as a commission, you didn't really want the original 121 dockets. So I would imagine then the copies of those dockets, which the National Police Commissioner has confirmed they've made, would suffice. Is that a correct assessment of what you said?
Yes, that is correct, Clement. I mean, in the first instance, and I think as we did say yesterday, the commission is charged with responsibility in its terms of reference, which of course include investigating whether criminal syndicates and drug cartels have infiltrated or exerted undue influence, amongst others, the South African Police Service, and that includes the Political Killings Task Team as well as Crime Intelligence. So it is then understandable that there was quite a bit of anxiety around those dockets which reside with the Political Killings Task Team. Having said that, the Commission would not want to stand in the in the way of the SAPS doing its work. And hence, the copies of the dockets will suffice because, needless to say, the original dockets need to be with the police, with the investigators who are working on those dockets. But also, we, the Commission, have taken the necessary steps, and I'm not going to get into the detail, to ensure that the integrity of the information that we seek or receive.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, because there have been concerns. The presidency raised some concerns. The acting police minister also raised concerns about the decision to send these dockets back to the Political Killings Task Team. Now, I want to now understand
just on that. Let me just say, Clement, I think again it's very important to emphasize the anxiety on the part of a number of stakeholders and the public is entirely understandable. The commission is not going to reveal its investigative methodology and get into that kind of detail, because obviously we are dealing with very, very sensitive investigations. But in the context that I've shaped, all of that anxiety is understandable, and it's now history because the Minister of Police, Professor Kachalia, and the National Police Commissioner Masimola both had engaged on that matter, had reached agreement on what needed to be done. And as I say, for the Commission's purposes, from our perspective, we are satisfied that the information we have at our disposal is satisfactory.
Yeah. Do you foresee that there's going to be a scheduling conflict? And have you managed to engage with the evidence leaders of the parliamentary inquiry that's also looking at the same allegations by General Mkhwanazi? Because the two processes will be running concurrently, and the scheduling conflict over consultations is inevitable, which then raises questions over how witnesses, which are needed in both places across the two provinces, will be managed.
You've put it quite succinctly. It is merely a scheduling conflict. We as the Commission, we obviously respect the separation of powers. The ad hoc committee was appointed by Parliament. The Commission of Inquiry was appointed by the President. And of course, we have the same objective, which is to get to the bottom of the allegations made by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. And so we can reasonably be expected to communicate with each other, which we have been doing, and work together to find a solution to the scheduling issues. But it is nothing more than that. There's no competition or anything untoward. As I think we said and explained at quite some length yesterday, Justice Madlanga, you may recall, on the 28th of July at our first media briefing, in his words, he said at that point that our first consultations were imminent. That very first consultation was with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi immediately in the days following that. And had it not been for the procurement issues, which of course you are aware of, that caused then a significant delay in the work of the Commission, were it not for that, we would then have been able to progress much faster, because, as you know, we had intended to have our first hearing last Monday already on the 1st of September. And of course, it's now rescheduled to take place next Wednesday, the 17th of September.
Yeah. And understanding that obviously the two processes are fundamentally different, is there an opportunity to share information or exchange statements, etc., understanding, of course, the different mandates that you hold here and how different the terms of reference are? Or do you want this to be a completely independent process from that of the parliamentary inquiry?
So I think fair to say that our team is in touch with the parliamentary team at the technical level. And certainly, we would be amenable to requests which we would consider as it relates to information at our disposal. But as you say, these are distinctly separate processes. And so any requests that we would make, that any other state institution may make, we will receive those and deal with those in the spirit of cooperation, and obviously ensure that our process is not compromised, but cooperate to the extent that it is possible.
I want you to clarify something that I was surprised that a few people were shocked by yesterday when Advocate Matthew Chuckleson, who's one of the evidence leaders, said that the findings are not binding and that the commission can only make recommendations to the president. And I've seen that there are quite a lot of people who responded and they were quite disappointed in that. Can you just clarify that? Because this is, of course, a commission. The recommendations are recommendations, and it's not like the president can be pushed to a corner here to implement them or else. They're not binding, but also that doesn't mean that when they're recommendations, you look the other way and not implement them.
Look, I think, firstly, the president saw fit to appoint a commission of inquiry into these very serious allegations by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, which were made in a very public fashion on the 6th of July. A few days later, the president then addressed the nation, made the announcement that he's appointing the commission, and shortly thereafter, the commission was legally proclaimed in a government gazette dated the 23rd of July. So, without getting into the merits, because obviously, that is what the commission is charged with, investigating those allegations. The president appointed the commission with a very specific mandate contained in the terms of reference. And as you will know, but I think it's worth saying again that in addition to the South African Police Service, it includes investigating whether those criminal syndicates had allegedly infiltrated, amongst others, the National Prosecuting Authority, the State Security Agency, the 3 metropolitan police departments in Gauteng, the Department of Correctional Services, the judiciary as well, and any other state institutions within the criminal justice system. So, that's a very serious investigation which we are conducting, which we are charged with. And I don't think anyone reasonably is going to merely look at the report of the commission. Of course, we have to submit an interim report within 3 months and then a final report within 6 months, and let that gather dust on a bookshelf. And of course, it is the president's prerogative, but needless to say, a lot of work will have gone into the reports that the commission produces. And we have seen in recent months and recent times quite a significant amount of discussion about the State Capture Commission, for example, and its reports. And we have seen reports from and by the president himself in terms of the implementation. And I'm sure that, as I say, the report, the work that this commission produces will be subjected to quite a bit of public scrutiny given what we are dealing with. And at the heart of it really, Clement, is whether South Africans, whether citizens of our country can trust our law enforcement agencies. As we are seeing, across the country on a daily basis, crime and the operation of criminal gangs. If you look at what is happening on the Cape Flats, Mitchell's Plain, Wynberg, Athlone, etc., and many other parts of the country, these are criminal networks themselves. Those gangs operate on the basis of those networks, whether in prison or outside. And so the country has very high expectations, I'm sure, in terms of what the Commission produces.
Yeah. You have secured the testimony of General Mkhwanazi as your first witness. How many other witnesses has the Commission confirmed so far?
Clement, is actually a very long list of witnesses. Again, due to the sensitivity of the investigations, and obviously we don't want to talk too much about the witnesses who are coming to the Commission. We will make those announcements in due course, but I don't anticipate the situation where we are going to say these are the witnesses that we are going to be calling, and they are going to be appearing on such and such a date. We will deal with those announcements at an appropriate time in due course.
And the protection of those witnesses, have you, I know the Justice Minister said they were working on some kind of witness protection. What great care has been taken here to consider, of course, the safety and protection of these witnesses, especially those whose testimony has already been announced?
So indeed, working together as the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, Mamoloko Kubai, was saying a couple of weeks ago, the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, our department, as well as a number of other state entities who, in terms of the law, are charged with the responsibility for protecting witnesses. We have been engaging them. We've been in consultation with them. We've taken lessons from the Zondo Commission, the inquiry into state capture. But if you look carefully at the terms of reference, this commission, what is commonly becoming known as the Madlanga Commission, has a rather unique paragraph at, I think it's 15 in the terms of reference, which says, and I quote, "The Commission shall ensure the protection of potential witnesses and witnesses." And it goes on to say all proceedings may be held in public or in private as the chairperson deems necessary, and that is related to protecting the witnesses. So this formulation is quite unique and unprecedented. And so we are having to innovate. We have been doing that. As the chief investigator, Dr. Peter Goss, and Advocate Matthew Chaskelson, SC, one of the evidence leaders, was saying yesterday, we are taking great care to ensure that we have a witness protection program that takes into account the unique nature of the commission, of the very serious allegations that we are investigating, and the lessons to be learned from, for example, the Zondo Commission.
All right, Jeremy Michaels, thank you so much for chatting to our spokesperson for the Madlanga Commission. It's 23 after 10.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
William L., Senior Training Coordinator at the Institute for Security Studies. Did we have folks from the M23 and Rwandan militia in the country?
Yeah, they have been invited by the Thabo Mbeki Foundation to attend the peace conference, and they were at Magaliesburg.
Should the government have known that they were here?
They were supposed to have known because these people needed visas, so they received their visas. The minister denied that he had any knowledge of them being there while he was actually addressing the conference.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702. At Trinity House, authentic Christian values empower our students to succeed together. With passionate teachers and expert coaches, we support your child in reaching their full potential in the classroom and in life. Join us for our open day on Saturday, 13 September from 9 to 12 at our campuses in Centurion, Glen Vista, Rand Park Ridge, and Little Falls. RSVP now at trinityhouse.co.za. Trinity House, succeeding together.
Hey besties, welcome to my kitchen tour, or should I say my new walk-in wardrobe. Over here we have the pantry, now home to my jeans and shirts, all color-coded. Oh, And the air fryer, literally the perfect place for my makeup brushes. And who would have thought? The oven is the place to store my handbags.
Who needs a kitchen? Simply spend 200 Rand or more and you could win Simply Asia for a year. T's and C's apply. Simply Asia, connecting the Thai way.
Pneumococcal disease can strike at any time, especially if you live with a chronic condition or have weakened immunity. If you're 19 and older with a chronic disease, vaccination can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia. The risk increases for people 65 and older, and vaccination is advised to help prevent serious illness. Ask your healthcare professional about pneumococcal vaccination. Don't wait. Vaccinate. Brought to you by Pfizer.
The Money Show. Weekday evenings at 6.
Well, the Minister of Employment and Labour gazetting new regulations that seem to make it easier for smaller companies to remove workers who are not performing.
This will erode the power of the trade unions. This is a classic area of the ideological divide that exists in South African society that is making it almost impossible for economic growth to accelerate.
Dr. Azar Jamin, the Director-in-Chief Economist at Econometrics.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by ABSA CIB, equipping you with efficient and secure cash management solutions for your business. Your story matters. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
You have nominated your favorite sports, you voted, and throughout today, we are announcing the winners of Gauteng's greatest awards powered by Yoko and 702. These are the creme de la creme of local businesses, the ones that you have decided are truly the best. And right now, we're going to be announcing the winner in the category of the greatest pizza place. Can you imagine how tough this category must have been, because there are lots of great pizza places here in Gauteng. And the winner for Gauteng's greatest awards in the category of the greatest pizza place is Pizza Baby Linden. And the owner is Tassos Mofis, who is in studio with us this morning. Tassos, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tell us more about Pizza Baby Linden.
Pizza Baby Linden is a community-based pizza joint, pizza place, takeaway place. We're very proud and grateful and thankful for the award we received today. It's a big honor for us. Over the last couple of years, we've tried really, really hard to bring the best possible product sourced locally to the South African market. And it's been challenging, it's been hard, but I feel that we persevere and we will continue to do so to bring to our local communities the best possible product out there.
What do you think is that one secret to your success?
I think the secret to any food item is a lot of passion, a lot of love, and great ingredients, but more importantly, is our customers. It's our customers. Without our customers, no matter how good or how bad we are, we can never succeed and we can never deliver that product to them. And you got to listen to them. You got to hear what your customer wants.
Yeah. There are some people listening to us who are probably in the beginning stages of their businesses, and much like you, they are also experiencing the challenges that you have gone through as a business. What advice would you give someone out there who is starting out and they feel like these challenges are just too much to bear?
I know. You must be passionate. You must believe in your product. You must give it your heart and soul. And there's good opportunities. There's great success waiting for you out there.
That's amazing. Tassos, congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. And once again, thanks to all our loyal customers. And to 702 and to Yoko.
Thank you
for this amazing award.
Thank you. Can't wait to come and try some of that pizza from Pizza Baby Linden. Remember to show Pizza Baby Linden some love. Go visit them, experience their excellence firsthand. You must keep supporting these local businesses. And of course, stay listening to 702 because there are some winners, more of them that are going to be revealed throughout today. But congratulations to Pizza Baby Linden. Their excellence hasn't gone unnoticed. We see them, and they're really the best of the best in Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702 and Yoko. Now, Gauteng's Greatest Pizza Place, that's hot. Yoko Counter, the smartest till you will ever own, keeps your spot running fast and smart with real-time sales, stock and stuff reports. From dough prep to final slice, you have total control, saving you hours of time and money. Ready to upgrade to Yoko Counter? Well, it's very easy. Go to yoko.com. Time for the latest in Eyewitness News headlines at exactly 10:30. Sfiso, hi.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. A manhunt is underway in the Eastern Cape for gunmen behind the shooting of 2 women and a 9-year-old girl. The triple murder happened in Gqeberha last night when neighbors reported hearing gunshots before finding the victims inside a house. Paramedics declared the women and the child dead at the scene. The Constitutional Court is hearing a challenge to the National Health Insurance Act brought by Solidarity, the Board of Healthcare Funders and other groups. The act, signed into law by President Cyril Ramaphosa in May last year, seeks to create a central fund to pay for healthcare services and guarantee universal health access. And more than 100 women who worked in sex trade in South Korea are seeking compensation for the rights abuses they suffered while catering to American soldiers stationed in the country. The 117 victims have filed a fresh lawsuit accusing and seeking an apology from the U.S. military. In 2022, the women won a court ruling against their own government for illegally operating brothels for the U.S. military, ordering it to pay compensation to more than 120 plaintiffs. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 11 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, traffic remains very slow on the M1 South between Marlborough Drive and Coiler Drive due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 South. This is in the Woodmead area coming out of the Baklu interchange. An accident has been reported there causing those massive queues. Please be on the lookout. If you're traveling in Midrand, delays on the N1 North as well as the N1 South approaching Olifantsfontein Road due to an earlier accident. Otherwise, if you're traveling in the Bedford View area, we've got roadworks taking place on the N3 North, causing delays between Van Buren Road and the Kilulis interchange, as well as on the N12 West towards the Kilulis interchange. Please be on the lookout there. More updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
You've been in this game for a good few decades. Do you get the sense that things are getting much worse?
The only way we can answer that question is to say that bad actors are literally acting with impunity. Nobody seems safe, whether it's journalists, whether it's whistleblowers, whether it's investigators, insolvency practitioners, all are at risk. And it just shows us that with lack of consequence and accountability, people are acting out on what can only be termed one's worst nightmare.
Chad Thomas, crime expert from IRS Forensic Investigations.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
Mzansi, set your sights on playing Powerball and Powerball Plus for 114 million rand in total guaranteed jackpots this Tuesday. You heard right. Play Powerball for the guaranteed 57 million rand and Powerball Plus for the guaranteed 57 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in-store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial star 120 star 7529 hash for USSD. Panda Push-Up Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
My guy, tell me how date night was.
Bro, I'm telling you, my arrival was too clean. That sporty exterior, the 1.5 turbo engine, just turns heads.
But what about date night?
Yeah, it was chilled. But the Jolly On Pro, it's on another level, bro.
Sometimes the drive is the best part. The Haval Jolly On Pro from only 4,299 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's. GWM. Go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of West Bank, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever.
As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 in brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Mzansi, the wait is finally over. The Great South African Sale is here. Explore more for less with up to 50% off travel deals. Surf the waves, hike the hills, enjoy Gasi, and explore the wild. Book from 8 to 14 September 2025. Visit shortleft.co.za to book now and travel later. After all, it's your country. Enjoy it. Because nothing's more fun than a short left. Hashtag TravelWise Mzansi. T's and C's apply.
702. The Clement Manyathela Show.
Let's walk the talk.
25 minutes before 11 o'clock.
Ngothando halala konke emhlabeni kuyenzeka ngothando yeyi halala konke emhlabeni kuyenzeka.
The world can feel like a jungle. It's so easy to get lost when you inevitably stumble and you need to find a way out. You gotta learn your lessons on the playground. And you're the calm within the chaos, and all my worries get reborn. In a world that can be so heartless, you're the flame that keeps me warm. I'm gonna fall. I just want more. You're my only shelter from the storm. And I could never be lonely, I could never be cold. I wanna wrap my arms around you, yeah, I'll never let go. With your footsteps all around me, in our city made of gold. Here's to growing old. Babe, I'm coming home. Babe, I'm coming home. Babe, I'm coming home. I know I've been a sinner, but sometimes, baby, I'm a saint. And maybe I could paint you a picture, cause I don't know what to say now. And I struggle to stick to the roads that you've laid out. If love is like being an acrobat, you know it can really bend you out of shape. It's either dancing in the clouds or you're sinking like a stone. I'm gonna fall. I just want more. You're the diamond I've been looking for. And I could never be lonely, I could never be cold. I wanna wrap my arms around you, yeah, I'll never let go. With your footsteps all around me, in our city made of gold. Here's to growing old. Babe, I'm coming home. Babe, I'm coming home. Take me, babe, I'm coming home. Babe, I'm coming home. Take me home. Where's town?
And they're coming home to Gauteng this time around after a successful concert in KwaZulu-Natal. You're listening to the sounds of Ladysmith Black Mambazo and Jeremy Loobs. They're bringing their electrifying collaboration to Johannesburg. The show first premiered to a sold-out audience in KwaZulu-Natal. Echoes Between Us. That was back earlier this year in May. And this September, they will be at the iconic Teatro at Monte Cassino for a limited run. So please help me welcome Jeremy Loobs and Sibongiseni Chabalala joining us now in studio. Gentlemen, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. We are very good.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited about this concert coming up in September, Jeremy. But I want to first find out from you, when did you start experiencing the music of Ladysmith Black Mambazo? Do you remember?
For sure. I was a young boy when I was hearing it for the first time. And I grew up in a family in Cape Town. My father was a journalist for the Sunday Times, and he was covering all sorts of things and writing. Yeah, he was a revolutionary in his own way. And so the music of Ladysmith was kind of tied to my upbringing, I think, through the
the messages of unity they were singing about, and the ideas of joy that was coming through, and acceptance. They were inviting everyone to their concerts, and I remember going to their concerts, even maybe 12 years old was the first time in the city, and being really moved by the feeling of people singing together and the diversity of those crowds, And one of the things we spoke about when we started talking about doing some songs together is I just was telling him how natural it is to me to write music that has a feeling like it's been, let me say it this way, it's been easy for Sabong to hear how to collaborate with me. It hasn't been difficult. We were finding many easy opportunities, and I think it's almost because I grew up like hearing their stuff anyways.
Yeah.
So it's filtering into the sound of my music. And when it came to getting in studio, and you never know how it's going to go, and then it was so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you already belong.
Something like that.
Sibongiseni, how special has this collaboration been? And have you explored this kind of a format before?
Oh, it's very special. When Jeremy first called, I think about 3-4 years ago.
Oh, at least 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think about 4 years ago. We were like, oh, and then he sent this beautiful song. We listened to the song and said, but the song sounds complete. Why does he want us to come and maybe mess up the song? But he was so sure that he wanted Lady Smith to be on the song. And I have seen the posters because he used to come and perform in Durban. And I always miss the shows because he would come on the weekend and will be gone somewhere. So I haven't had a chance of listening to the music. But when he first sent this demo for us to listen and see, so then I went to the internet and checked, how is this young man doing? So I listened to the song. I said, no, there's definitely something here. It's a good talent. We can work. And it's been a very good. We connected on the first day. He came to the studio, told us a story. We talked. We did more talking than singing when we first met. And then we got on the studio and started doing the song. It's been very great.
And look at the magic that you've created together. Jeremy, you've called this collaboration a conversation. How different is it from a normal Jeremy Loops show or from a normal Lady Smith show for you, Sibongiseni?
Well, I think the idea with the we called it the Echoes Between Us because we're going to explore the sounds that exist between the two groups. And, I'm performing with my band, and people who come to my shows, they expect a very certain thing. It's a high energy show from start to finish, and we like to keep people jumping around. And you'd never see me sitting down at my shows. I'm always jumping and running and whatever I might be doing. And the same, I think, goes for Lady Smith. They are generally standing up, singing, doing the songs in the way that people understand. And our idea here is we want to try and create something that feels different from both shows. So more like a conversation. We're going to do songs from both of our repertoires, but we're going to try our best to do them together. So you might hear some of my biggest hits sung with the whole of Lady Smith around me, and I'll be doing them in a different format. So I won't be doing them in the big live show way. I'm going to maybe be playing those songs more acoustically and have all these beautiful harmonies. And similarly with some of the Lady Smith songs that are generally just going to be a cappella, you're going to hear some of the band around them and some extra percussion and instrumentation that you wouldn't normally hear at one of their shows. And I think that's what's going to make it quite interesting. And I think we're going to throw in a couple of curveballs there as well for people, some other songs that maybe don't belong to either of us. And we hope that these shows are going to be the beginning of many shows like this. That's our plan long term, is to try and take this internationally and let it form the basis of something hopeful, in a world that feels so full of darkness and shrouded by fear. I think so many people are needing music to become that symbol of hope again. And so this isn't about looking back into the past and their legacy or my legacy. It's about looking together into the future and saying, how can we as two bands from two different parts of the culture come together and try to do something that speaks to where we'd like to see the future of this country go and give people hope, which I think is what both bands have spent our lives doing. It's music dedicated to joy and unity, and and that's going to be the message.
You've already had the success in KwaZulu-Natal, Sibongiseni, with a sold-out show. What can people expect here in Johannesburg?
More fun with the music. As Jeremy is saying, we want people to come and experience different, something that they wouldn't see on Ladysmith Black Mambazo show or on Jeremy's show, but something that's going to be very much collaborative, and we're aiming at showcasing to the world, actually, to the people, how these two cultures can come together and bring something beautiful, showcase us as South African, as people who have love, who have hope, and give people hope, you know, to know that there's always, even if you have bad things happening, but there's always good things that are coming, that are happening around you as well, that can uplift you as well.
Yeah, listen, I can't wait to see you guys on stage. Jeremy, how do people get their tickets, and what are the dates?
Ooh, that's not a question for me, but there's no doubt that it's easy to find them. They're going to be on social media. They're going to be on the websites.
Web tickets.
They're going to be on web tickets.
Yeah.
For sure, it's on web tickets. And the shows are basically on the 20th and the 21st.
19th
and the 20th.
Yeah.
So it's really next weekend already. And yeah, we've got some space still available, but we're selling very well. We'd love people to come and support this. It's really going to be the first time we're in a theater together. My first time in a theater at all. So all my shows are generally outdoors, festivals. We've just come from Glastonbury. We've been doing all those sorts of things. I'm looking forward to a new space, an intimate space. And like Sibong was saying, we're trying to find a way to help people with the courage they need, you know. And I think we're taking some courage as well to do this collaboration. We're going to get up there. We haven't had we have 4 days of rehearsals next week. And whatever we do in those days is what you're going to see.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, we just have a lot of fun with it. That's our plan. So we'd love the Josie audience. There's a reason we're doing these first theatre shows here. You know, we feel like this is where there's going to be a lot of people who are inspired by this. So
It was a success in KZN. No doubt it's going to be a success in Johannesburg as well. Go check out the concert Friday, the 19th of September. Saturday, the 20th of September as well. You can grab your tickets at Web Tickets. Here, once again, is a taste of what you can expect.
I've been walking for days and days, listening to you. You keep a humming the same old tune. All of the things that you've been through match the scars on your face like tattoos. In a couple of days we could be gone, leave with nothing and start traveling home. No time to rest, been here before. In the undergrowth, divided by the single mode. He said, in this town, I'm begging to find someone who can save me. And it's been tearing me apart while I've been waiting. And nothing's been that easy for me lately. But the city is my heart and I've been waiting. The city is my heart and I've been waiting. I'm looking for something now. Don't drip and you might stall out. Stop thinking you're too tall. Magnificent, come around. Another trip in the cop car. Take time to reform, yeah. Just give me the food for a while. Why live if you don't fall down? Why live if you don't fall down? Why live if you don't fall in this town? I'm begging to find someone who can save me. And it's been tearing me apart while I've been waiting. And nothing's been that easy for me lately. and it's tearing me apart. Well, I've been waiting, and nothing's been that easy for me lately. But this city has my heart. He said, in this town, I'm begging to find someone who can save me. He's been tearing me apart. Well, I've been waiting, and nothing's been that easy for me lately. But this city has my heart. She said, in this town, there's nothing in my name unless I make it. It's not written in the
So that's just some of the magic you can expect at this concert on Friday and on Saturday next week. Go check out Jeremy Loops and Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
So you thought you were building a business? In this economy? Good luck. But day by day, somehow it grew. You became payroll, procurement, PR, and pressure valve. You kept going when the freezer didn't freeze, the bucket didn't budge, and the bank balance barely blinked. What's that saying again? What doesn't kill your business makes it stronger? Or at least it should be that. So you thought you were building a business. You weren't. It was building you. Because this isn't just what you do anymore. It's who you are. And you don't trust just anybody to protect it. Chat to your broker about Old Mutual Insure Business Insurance. Protect what built you. Old Mutual Insure Limited is a licensed FSP and non-life insurer.
Avi Josie 2025 is back, where creativity and technology meet. Join us at Summer Place in Hyde Park, Johannesburg, from the 13th to the 14th of September for cutting-edge masterclasses, workshops, live demos in film, animation, VFX, AI, gaming, and interactive tech. This year's theme, Heart of Steel, celebrates bold creators striving in the age of AI and disruption. Expect local and international experts to share their knowledge in workshops, tech showcases, game jams, portfolio reviews, and interactive sessions. And it's completely free. So go and register now at avijosie.com.
Mr. Govinder, congrats on the retirement. You just sold your car to We Buy Cars. Tell us about it.
Yes, it just gathered dust in the garage, so I exchanged it for cold hard cash. Now my wife and I can enjoy a stress-free retirement.
Retiring the car as you retire. Nice. So why We Buy Cars?
It was so quick. They came over to our house to do the evaluation, and we sold it the same day. Tops, man.
Okay, so now you got even more time on your hands, eh?
Exactly.
We Buy Cars. Geared for your next chapter. Geared for you.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
And no one backs Gauteng's entrepreneurs and their dreams like Yoko and 702. And you, over the past few weeks, we asked you to nominate and vote for your favorite local business, and you showed up. Now the spotlight shifts to the winners in Gauteng's greatest awards. And today, we've been announcing winners throughout this morning. And right now, we're going to be announcing the winner in the category of the greatest art gallery. So the winner for the greatest art gallery is Atili Gallery.
Local entrepreneurs don't...
Which is owned by Karen Kalinen, who's the founder and CEO and curator of Atili Gallery. Karen, congratulations to you. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much. Very excited. I was very surprised. I didn't even know we'd been nominated. So it was such an amazing feeling
what a lovely
to read
surprise.
that email. Absolutely.
Tell us more about Atili Gallery.
Atili Gallery actually opened its doors 3 days before lockdown. So it was quite amazing. We had a brand new business with brand new artists on board. And 3 days later, we had to shut our doors because of lockdown. Fortunately, we had built an online platform. When we did the gallery model, we made sure that we researched what would a gallery look like 10 years ahead. And we realized everything would be online 10 years ahead. So obviously, COVID brought that all forward. But that is what allowed us to survive that COVID period.
Oh, so many businesses had to pivot and think, what do we do now to survive? What makes Atili Gallery so special? What makes it different from the other galleries?
I think one of our unique points is that we are very artist-centric. We are really big on building relationships with our artists. And I think at the end of the day, art can become a commodity, but one needs to remember there is a person with a whole life and a family, behind those beautiful artworks. And so we have to get past it being a commodity and realizing you're working with people with great talent. And I think that is something that's really special about it. And we also have a wonderful team. Nothing can be achieved individually. It's actually achieved within a fabulous team who work with me.
Yeah. And if you could share one lesson from your journey, what would it be?
Never give up. Just never give up. You never know what's around the corner. COVID could come and you just got to stay true to what your path is. And I also think you've got to stay very true to your own, march to your own drum. Don't look at what other people are doing to define what you're going to do. It's got to come from within. So, yeah, that would be my answer.
Where do we find Atelier Gallery?
Atelier Gallery, we started off at 44 Stanley, and during COVID we moved to Nelson Mandela Square Mall, which was also scary because at that time everybody was moving out of malls, and we are still there. So we are based right next to the Standard Bank Art Lab in Nelson Mandela Square Mall.
Oh, wonderful. Karen, once again, congratulations. You're truly the best of the best in Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yearcore. And please go check out Atelier Gallery. Show them some love. Go visit them. Experience their excellence firsthand. And please share some of that experience even on social media. Get other people to go check it out. Behind every great Gauteng business, there's a greater system making it look easy. Introducing Yoko Counter. It's the smartest till you'll ever own, with payments and point of sale working together right out of the box. Ready to become the next Gauteng's greatest? Well, very easy. Go to yoko.com for more information. Karen, well done.
Thank you so much.
It's 3 minutes before 11.
Breathe in, insurance. Breathe out, pineapple. In, insurance. Breathe out, pineapple. Again. In, insurance. Out, pineapple. Again and again.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Feel the exhilarating power and performance. Feel the anticipation of a new adventure around every corner. Feel the breathtaking wonder of Mzansi's epic scenery. Feel the luxe vibes and the good times. Feel it all and more with the Ultimate Shell V-Power VIP experience. Spend 750 rands 3 times this month and tap your V Plus rewards card for a chance to win one of 5 epic road trip and trek experiences for 2. T's and C's apply.
The BCCSA is calling for nominations. Do you know someone with broadcasting expertise? Nominate them to serve as a commissioner for a 4-year term starting 1 January 2026. Send a short CV and motivation to bccsa@nabsa.co.za. Nominations close 19 September 2025. Visit www.bccsa.co.za for more info.
702.
The Clement Manyathela Show.
Let's walk the talk.
It's going up to 11 o'clock. We're going to get the latest in eyewitness news. When we come back, we're going to start our World of Work feature, which is what we do every Tuesday around this time. And today we're going to be talking about the benefits of flexible work for us as employees, for us as employers as well. What are the benefits for the business? So if you're a flexible worker, what does flexible working mean for you, and how has it benefited you, but also how has it benefited the business? I'd like to hear from your experiences on 072 702 1702. It's 11 o'clock.
This is EWN.
11 o'clock, 11 minutes. 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 11 minutes.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. A manhunt is underway in the Eastern Cape for gunmen behind the shooting of 2 women and a 9-year-old girl. The triple murder happened in Gqeberha last night when neighbors reported hearing gunshots before finding the victims inside a house. Paramedics declared the women and the child dead at the scene. The police's Pogazi Mawisa says the motive for the attack is being investigated.
Police will stamp their authority in ensuring that those involved are apprehended. They will leave no stones unturned without apprehending suspects and confiscate any weapon used in the commission of crime.
The Constitutional Court is hearing a challenge to the National Health Insurance Act brought by Solidarity. The act, signed into law by President Cyril Ramaphosa in May last year, seeks to create a central fund to pay for healthcare services and guarantee universal health access. But applicants argue that certain provisions give the state excessive power over private health facilities and medical practitioners, violating rights to trade, property and access to healthcare. Mongezi Koko reports.
In July last year, the Gauteng High Court ruled that sections of the National Act, including the controversial Certificate of Need requirement, were irrational and unconstitutional. Prosecutors for the state are now asking the Constitutional Court to overturn that decision, arguing that the provisions are necessary to transform the health sector and give effect to Section 27 of the Constitution, which guarantees access to healthcare. Solidarity and other applicants counter that the provisions amount to limits on private medical practice, breaching Section 22, which protects freedom of trade, and Section 25, which safeguards property rights. The case now rests with the Constitutional Court, which will decide whether the NHI Act strikes the constitutional balance between state-led universal healthcare and protection of fundamental rights. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News.
Parliament's Communications and Digital Technologies Oversight Committee Chairperson Kusela Sangonidiko says the country's communication laws are outdated and are not fit for purpose in a fast-changing digital era. She says the laws are in need of a major review to put them on par with the rest of the world and moving away from the analog era. Sangonidiko was addressing Parliament's Economic Cluster briefing yesterday to discuss issues around digital migration and entities in the sector like the SABC and the Post Bank. Babalondenza reports.
Kusela Sangonidiko says one of the most pressing barriers to progress in the information and communications technology sector is outdated legislation. She says South Africa's communications laws were largely designed for an analog era and don't cater for today's fast-changing digital ecosystem, which features AI and e-commerce.
All of our community laws were largely designed for an analog era. They are not fit for purpose in a fast-changing digital environment, which is categorized by, amongst others, artificial intelligence, e-commerce, the Internet of Things, blockchain, and many other technologies. This outdated framework is hampering innovation.
Sangonidiko says the committee will now prioritize and fast-track new legislation and make amendments to existing laws to modernize the ICT sector to be more inclusive. Babalondense, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And more than 100 women who worked in sex trade in South Korea are seeking compensation for the rights abuses they suffered while catering to American soldiers stationed in the country. The 117 victims have filed a fresh lawsuit seeking an apology from the U.S. military. In 2022, the women won a court ruling against their own government for illegally operating brothels for the U.S. military, ordering it to pay compensation to 120 plaintiffs. The U.S. has stationed tens of thousands of troops in South Korea since 1950 to 1953 in the Korean War. Gold is trading at $3,658.70 an ounce. The rand is at 17.47 to the dollar, 23.72 to the pound, 20.58 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.50 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South. This is between Buklu Interchange and Rivonia Road due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic along the M2 West heading towards Amalgam between the Akron Interchange and Main Reef Road.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, a manhunt is underway in the Eastern Cape for gunman behind the shooting of 2 women and a 9-year-old girl.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
Six minutes after 11 o'clock. Welcome to the third and final hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702. Time for our World of Work feature.
702.
World of Work.
Are you a flexible worker? How has that been going for you? What's been the benefit for you and what's been the benefit for the business? Give us a call on 011-883-0702 or send a WhatsApp on 072-702-1702. We're discussing the benefits of flexible work on our World of Work feature this morning for employees, but for the business as well. Because for many South Africans, going back to the office after the pandemic has felt like a return to sort of like the old ways of working, hasn't it? But at the same time, a new way of thinking about work is actually growing. Right? Flexible and on-demand work. So this approach moves away from the traditional 9-to-5 routine and instead focuses on contribution, on choice, and balance. So it's not just about working from home, but about creating workplaces where people have more control over their time while businesses benefit from access to diverse skills and greater agility. So please share your experiences with us around flexible work. Like, how do you do that? How have you benefited from that? And how do you think the business benefits from that? I know there's also been some silent protest from people who have spent so much time working from home since the pandemic and they don't want to come back to the office now. Are you one of those people? Let us know. Daniela Tom is a key accounts and business development manager at Strider Digital, who's going to guide us through this conversation. Daniela, thank you for your time. Good morning.
Hi, Clement. Thanks so much for having me.
What does flexible work actually mean in practice, and how is it different from remote or hybrid work?
Sure, Clement. Thanks for the question. So, flexible work, it's moved beyond the idea of just working from home or working in a hybrid model in terms of coming into the office some days and staying at home in other days. It's about, in now, people wanting to design their work around their lives rather than having to design their lives around work, and especially their careers. So it's, people are choosing to work flexibly in terms of choosing different types of work and project-based work, as opposed to sticking to one career for a very long time. And for example, if I can give you an example, it's no longer just about side hustles or short-term gigs. Companies are realizing that they can access specialized skills when it really matters most to them. I'm talking, for example, engineers, analysts, technical managers, your top industry consultants. They are being brought into a project exactly when they need it, but also at the same time, we're seeing highly skilled professionals choosing flexibility over permanence. And they're using this flexible/project-based work opportunity to deepen their expertise and build truly specialized careers.
Why do you believe that flexible work is more than just a short-term trend? Because there are some people who believe, this thing is just going to dissipate at some point.
Sure. I think, look, specifically in our industry, which is very much the tech space, the digital transformation space, from a business perspective, the flexible work model, and when I talk about, again, just to reiterate, the flexible work model, I'm not talking about, working from home, and that's something we can discuss, or, working from home some days and not working from home some days, but more about this project-based model is, from a business perspective, the opportunity there is they gain agility and competitiveness. They can bring talent in exactly when they need it. And then from, a skills perspective in the workforce, the talent gets to shape the career on their own terms.
And do you think that a lot of businesses have come to realize those kind of advantages? So, because a lot of them always ask, what's in it for me? Because when you're in the office, there's a level of control that even the managers have in making sure that people are productive and they meet the deadlines. Is it different when someone is at home? Because it's more, they're holding themselves accountable. I mean, yes, you're still in touch with the office, with the employer, with the manager perhaps, but you still somehow have control over how you allocate tasks throughout the day.
Yeah, I think there's been a bit of an evolution, right? It's no longer just about where we work because people don't want to be managed out of control. They want to be measured by the value that they create. So for highly skilled, in-demand talent, what really matters is meaningful contribution, not how many hours it took to get there or, where the work was produced. Right now, it's more quality over quantity, not where or when. And I think ultimately that translates into, a bit of a balance where some businesses or organizations do require their staff to come in on on certain days a week, and that does foster collaboration, it does foster synergy. But I think, what we need to accept specifically in where we are now is that flexibility has moved well beyond being a nice to have in the workspace. It's definitely become somewhat of a baseline expectation.
And for some employers, though, who are insisting on a return to the office, what risks do such companies face if they don't embrace flexibility?
Yeah. So, I think that businesses that understand that flexibility is now more of an expectation and who build flexibility into their culture are more likely to be the ones who attract and keep top talent. Those that don't, Clement, are finding that people simply choose to move on to places that do. And in turn, those that don't, I think will see how a lack of flexibility has a significant impact to their overall retention strategy, and to possibly their level of employee satisfaction and overall company culture.
Sure. So you've spoken about moving from clock watching to contribution. How do businesses measure success in this kind of setup?
Yeah, quality over quantity. It's as simple as that. It's about the value of the output, Clement.
And how do you get the companies to start using that on-demand or flexible talent without losing control? Because I think, as I said, there are some that are still resisting because there are these fears that are still lurking.
Sure. Look, that's a very good question, and I think that's specifically where a company like Strider Digital comes in. Our ability to connect organizations with some of the best tech professionals available today and also help those organizations manage those tech professionals is something that I think sets us apart. It protects them from a retention perspective, from a delivery perspective, but, it also empowers them to bring some of the brightest minds together with some of the most innovative businesses and to support both of them along the journey of success.
14 minutes after 11 o'clock. Give us a call on 011-883-0702 if you want to share your experience around flexible work. Are you still working from home? How flexible is your work? And how has it benefited you? Has it worked for you? Has it not? Maybe you are an employer, you're a manager from a business. What have you picked up as the benefits or even the disadvantages of flexible work? Does it work for the business or not? Share your experiences with us. We'll take your calls and WhatsApps after the break. It's 15 after 11.
When you start driving the new GWM P500, life will never be the same. Your voice will be more commanding. You'll ooze gravitas. You'll start hearing voices, but fear not. That's just adventure calling. The new P500 is effortlessly bold. Get it from only $8,599 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM, go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Oh, wait. Could I courier this pair of custom flame graffiti chucks? One of a kind, bruh.
Sure, fire. Where your guy, my guy? My recipe book with all my secrets. Those secrets are safe with us. We're your guy.
Can I send my beanbag chair? It's shaped like a fat cook.
Of course you can. We're your guy. With over 4,000 fast and flexible ways of couriering your parcel locally and internationally, whatever you need couriered, we're your guy. The Courier Guy. Visit thecourierguy.co.za.
That's the sound of your business growing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, turn your passion into profit with Capitec Business Banking. Save up to 50% on fees. Get fast credit approvals, personalized support, and Forex for your business. Open your business banking account on our app. Bank on better with Capitec, the business bank for everyone. Capitec is an authorized FSP. 46669. T's and C's apply.
702.
World of Work.
17 minutes after 11 o'clock, we've been talking about the benefits of flexible work for employees, for the business as well. And I want you to share some of your experiences, some of your concerns as well. We're speaking to Daniela Tom, who is a key accounts and business development manager at Strider Digital. I got a message, Danielle, from someone who's speaking about the support structures that are needed to make this model of flexible work sustainable. What would you advise companies out there that are thinking, I want to try this and I want to make it sustainable? What do they need? Do they need training, like around management style, communication? What's so important in order for it to be sustainable?
So, Clement, I think, with more project-based work, right, so a flexible working model, people might not stay in an organization for years in the same way they used to. And culture or the support that we give to permanent employees and consultants, I think needs to be the same. So we're not only wanting to support someone out of longevity. It shouldn't matter how fluid your workforce is. I think how you achieve success with this flexible work model is about shared values across the business, permanent and contractors alike. It's about clear ways of working, setting strong communication channels up. And it's about how people feel while they're a part of the team. So, whether someone is with the business for 3 months or even 3 years, if you can make people feel genuinely connected and valued, I think, you will be able to achieve the level of success that you have set out, regardless of, what type of workforce you have within your project or with whatever goal you're trying to achieve.
And there are many leaders who worry about losing teamwork, when they embrace flexible work, or they're losing culture if everyone works flexibly. How can businesses keep people connected while maintaining this kind of setup?
Look, I think there is often the hybrid model that comes to mind. So there is some level of encouragement in terms of asking your staff to come into the office a few days a week. There are obviously the social events that some of our clients, for example, host to encourage collaboration. But I think it also comes down to things like your contracting houses, for example, Strider. We support our clients through high performance coaching of the consultants. We have our own people manager. We are very high touch in relation to our engagement with the consultants and the clients. So it's a shared relationship and a shared responsibility between the consulting house or the consultant, the client, and the individual themselves to achieve a level of success that our clients or organizations or any business out there is trying to achieve.
And for younger workers, does it help when a company embraces flexible work? Because younger workers often want more freedom. They want, purpose in their jobs. So how does this flexibility setup help attract and keep talent from that generation?
Yeah, I think that's a very insightful question, because that is definitely something that we see within the tech industry specifically. We do have a shortage of skills in that industry, from engineering to business analysis. We have AI and AI literacy being a top demand, top skill that's currently in demand. And I think the benefits of project-based or flexible work, specifically within our younger generations, they can develop their very highly sought-after skills in very different environments. And those environments, they offer very different experiences. So, some might criticize that it's we see big business maybe stripping away things like income security, but it's actually more about where each side sees an opportunity to evolve and grow.
One employer asked us if you've got advice for some of the employers out there or managers who may struggle to let go of control, because trust, I would imagine, seems central to this way of working.
Yeah, look, absolutely. It's give and take, right? So trust comes with being able to show that you can be held accountable, and accountability then, generates more trust. So it is a two-way street. It's not specifically only on the organization. But, again, Clement, I really stress that if businesses don't consider being more flexible when it comes to a flexible working policy, they are at risk of losing their top tier talent to very likely their competitors that will. We have a shortage of skills within the industry. Everyone is looking very likely for the same kind of individual to innovate, to grow, to develop their strategies out into the market. And people are going to go with the best offer that's available. And that's not necessarily, financial benefits. It's the hybrid work model. It's the opportunity. It's the ability to grow their experience, their skill sets. We are talking about very highly skilled, in-demand talent. So they want to contribute meaningfully. They want to. It's less about the hours and more about what comes out of the time that they invest with the organization.
And how do you see flexible work shaping the country's workplace over the next, 5 to 10 years?
So that's a good question. I think it's going to stay in different shapes and forms, depending on the needs and requirements of big and small business alike. I certainly don't think it's going to be done away with. And I think, there will always be individuals or people within the workforce who do want the security of, permanent employment and in-office engagement. But you are going to have a generation of our workforce, no matter how old they are, wanting the difference, wanting the change, wanting the ability to build and grow out their skills and experience. So it's here to stay. It just depends on what flavor you prefer in terms of what you ultimately decide to take in terms of a career path.
And what role does technology play though in making this flexible work possible?
Oh, huge, absolutely huge. I think we all discovered how dependent we became on software as a service platforms during COVID. We've seen the rise of WhatsApp and its usage in terms of being able to contact its customers. So that's not going to change, and especially given now the rise of AI and what that has to bring in the next decade. So it's here to stay, and I think it's going to be to our benefit if we optimize the utilization of technology as we grow.
Yeah, Daniela Tom, thank you so much for chatting to us. Key Accounts and Business Development Manager at Strider Digital. It's 26 after 11.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
So over the past few weeks, we have asked you to nominate and vote for your favorite local businesses, and you've showed up. Now the spotlight shifts to the winners in Gauteng's greatest awards. And as you've heard this morning, since Bongani Bing was showed, 702 Breakfast, we've been announcing some of the winners. And right now, I'm going to be announcing the winner in the category of greatest hairdresser or barber. So the winner in the category of greatest hairdresser or barber is Sylvester iCard. Yay! And I've got the owners of Sylvester iCard in studio, James Tsepo Lekhwati and Kabelo Ledwaba, who are in studio with us. How are you guys doing?
Good. We're doing all right.
Yeah?
Thanks. How are you?
How excited are you about this?
Very excited.
Yeah? Did you guys know that you were nominated?
Yeah. We found out like a week.
A week after
the nomination
started.
Well, congratulations to you guys. Tell us
Thank you
more
so
about
much.
Sylvester iCard. What makes you guys so special?
You can go first.
Yeah. Because a lot of people love to come to your barber.
Yes,
clearly.
yes,
like
yes.
why is it? Is it, do you listen? I mean, I know when I go to shave, to cut my hair, I also sometimes speak a lot with my barber and share some of my issues. So you guys become psychologists at some point.
Okay, with Sylvester iCard, right? So Sylvester iCard, he is the main guy.
Yeah.
James is the main guy. He's created an environment where all the clients, when the clients come there, there's also a chill place to chill. So clients can immediately after getting a haircut, they chill. He produces quality. With the quality also, he's the therapist.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So you know a lot of secrets, James.
I'm a cheat code. I'm the reason why their boyfriends cheat.
Yeah. What do you offer? What do you guys do? You only do like shaving? What do you offer at Sylvester iCard?
For now, we only offer haircuts.
Okay, haircuts.
Yeah, only.
Yeah.
So it's not a big shop. It's just a small. We have rented a small space here just to
push the business.
Yeah, to push the business.
How has the journey been of starting this business? What are some of the lessons you've taken? I imagine it must have been difficult, like any other small business.
It has been. It's been really difficult, especially establishing something of your own. But had it been where we started working for something big, then it would have been better. But starting something on your own, especially without enough capital, it's kind of a challenge. But gradually, when time goes on, it picks up. It gets better than it was before.
Yeah. And if you guys could share one advice to someone out there who's also starting a small business and they're just thinking, oh, the challenges are so tough. What advice do you have for someone out there?
Don't give up.
Yeah?
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. It's going to be difficult, but with the driving force, with enough driving force, you would get there. Don't give up.
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much and congratulations to you guys. Your excellence hasn't gone unnoticed. We see you. You are the best of the best in Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702 and Yoko. Where can people check you guys out? Where is Sylvester iCard stationed?
201 Korobey Avenue.
201 Korobey Avenue in Pretoria East.
Yes.
All right.
And we also have a website where they can book their appointments.
So they just go to Sylvester iCard. Just Google that. The website will pop up.
www.sylvesteicard.online.
Okay. www.sylvesteicard.online. Go check it out. Remember to show them some love. Visit them. Experience their excellence firsthand. But congratulations to James and Kabelo from Sylvester iCard. You've always been the go-to. Now you are officially Gauteng's greatest. But do you have a great tech to support your business? Try Yoko Counter, the new point-of-sale solution that enables fast payments and tracks sales, stock, and staff, all in real time, straight out of the box. Cut down on admin and not on quality. Ready to level up? Head to yoko.com to order your Yoko Counter. It's now 11:31. Time for the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. Mbali, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. The Umkhonto weSizwe Party has lodged a complaint against President Cyril Ramaphosa as well as Agriculture Minister John Steakhouses. The party is accusing them of misconduct during their visit to the White House earlier this year. The complaint stems from remarks Steakhouses made to the US President in the Oval Office, where he said the DA joined the GNU to prevent both the EFF and the MK Party from entering government. The MK Party asserts that Steakhouses used the platform to play politics and promote the DA's agenda during what was meant to be an official government engagement. Police Minister Feroz Kachalia is visiting Mitchell's Plain today as part of his engagements with the residents from crime-ravaged communities in the Western Cape. In the recent weeks, areas including Mitchell's Plain, Atlantis and Muizenberg have seen a spike in gang-related shootings. 2 weeks ago, a man was shot and killed and another wounded in an attack outside the Mitchell's Plain Magistrates Court. And some economists have forecast an increase in economic activity in the second quarter of the year. When Stats SA releases the latest GDP figures today, the economy started the year off sluggish with a 0.1% growth in the first quarter. The anticipated momentum is expected to come from rebounds in mining and manufacturing. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at midday or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Travelling in Woodmead, we still have got that accident on the N1 South right near the Baklu interchange causing heavy delays. Please be on the lookout there. While on the N3 North, bumper-to-bumper traffic between the Van Buren Road exit and the Klulis interchange. Roadworks are taking place there. Please be on the lookout as you approach the Klulis interchange. There's also queuing traffic as a result on the N12 West between Edenville Road and the Klulis interchange. Heading towards Amalgam, expect delays on the M2 West between the Crown interchange and Main Riff Road. There's also some delays, a bit unusual for this time of the day, along Crownwood Road approaching the Soweto Highway. Otherwise, in the city of Tshwane, some delays on the N1 South towards the Proof Plus interchange, and that's due to roadworks. Please be on the lookout there. I'm Amo Ramela. Karabujali will have your next traffic update from the top of the hour onwards. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Mzansi, set your sights on playing Powerball and Powerball Plus for 114 million rand in total guaranteed jackpots this Tuesday. You heard right. Play Powerball for the guaranteed 57 million rand and Powerball Plus for the guaranteed 57 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in-store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Hey besties, welcome to my kitchen tour, or should I say my new walk-in wardrobe. Over here we have the pantry, now home to my jeans and shirts, all color-coded. Oh, and the air fryer, literally the perfect place for my makeup brushes. And who would have thought, the oven is the place to store my handbags.
Who needs a kitchen? Simply spend 200 Rand or more and you could win Simply Asia for a year. T's and C's apply. Simply Asia, connecting the Thai way.
When I say insurance, you say pineapple. Insurance.
Pineapple.
Insurance.
Pineapple.
Insurance.
Pineapple.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Every day, South Africans are being squeezed to make ends meet. That's why they're Still Good, a new online platform where you can save up to 65% on groceries by buying Still Good value bags, packed with groceries by leading retailers that are still perfectly good, just close to their sell-by date. You win by saving, retailers win by cutting food waste, and communities win as Still Good donates 10% of their earnings to food charities. Visit stillgood.co.za. Start getting more bang for your buck with Still Good.
702.
Health and wellness.
25 minutes before 12 o'clock, time for our health and wellness feature. And I want to hear from people who have been using antibiotics, because we're talking about the dangers of the misuse of antibiotics. The World Health Organization has also raised some concerns about this, and many other leading health experts, because antibiotics are, you could argue, one of the greatest medical discoveries of our time. They've saved millions of lives and made it possible to treat serious infections and carry out surgeries safely. But the way we use them today is actually putting a lot of progress at risk. You've got overuse and misuse of antibiotics, whether it's people taking them when they don't need to or doctors prescribing them too often. But it's causing bacteria to become resistant, which means then infections that were once easily cured could soon become deadly again. It also means that routine medical procedures like, C-sections, cancer treatments, or hip replacements could carry life-threatening risks, right? Misusing these antibiotics doesn't just affect one person, because resistant bacteria can spread, making it harder and more expensive to treat illnesses across the whole community. So do you use antibiotics, and do you know if you're using them properly? And how often do you take them? Maybe you've got questions for my guest as well around the use of antibiotics. You can call on 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702. Andrietta van Jasveld is a clinical pharmacy specialist at Mediclinic South Africa, who's going to guide us through this conversation. Andrietta, thank you so much for your time. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today.
Let's start maybe with understanding the basic terminologies here. Can you explain, just in simple terms, what antimicrobial resistance is?
So I think that's where one of our problems lies, is that we talk about antimicrobial resistance and then we don't understand what it means. Antimicrobial is just a collective term for antibacterial, which is an antibiotic, and then antiviral and antifungal drugs. So all of these, antibiotic will kill bacteria, antiviral drug will kill viruses, and the antifungal drug will kill funguses. So they each work on the specific pathogen, and they have a different mechanism on how they kill that specific organism. And that's why we talk about antibiotics for bacterials and antivirals for viruses. And you can't use the same thing for everything. So you need to use them very specifically for the specific disease that you have. So if we talk about antimicrobial resistance, it actually then means that the pathogens, whether it is a bacteria or a virus or a fungus, get the drug that you want to use to kill them don't work for them anymore. So they get so clever that they get ways to fight this drug so that the drug don't work anymore and don't kill them anymore. And then you get antimicrobial resistance. But the problem that we are facing today and that we want to talk about is antibiotic resistance. So that's where you want to treat a bacterial infection.
Why is that antibiotic resistance being called one of the greatest threats to global health?
Because if we don't have these antibiotics, you've actually said that earlier, then we don't have anything to treat these common infections with anymore. And if we look at the impact on it globally, if we can't treat these infections with the normal drugs, then it gets much more expensive. We need to use more expensive drugs. People stay longer in hospital. It gets almost impossible, or sometimes actually impossible, to treat these infections. So it results in people dying from infections that we were supposed to be able to treat. But because there are so much resistance, we then can't treat these patients. So people die due to this. The other thing is that if people are sick, they can't work. So it has a major influence on our global economy as well, because we have this burden of disease and people that can't work, and we have people that are deceased and they also can't work. So it has an effect on the economy as well as people that are actually dying.
How are, from your observation, antibiotics commonly misused by the public?
I think the most common way where we abuse them is when we use them when we have normal colds and flu. So if you have a viral respiratory infection, you get very sick. Flu will really make you sick, but it's a virus infection. COVID was also a virus infection. So it doesn't help that you take an antibiotic, which is an antibacterial drug for that. So we use tons and tons of antibiotics for viral infections. So the only thing that happens then is you expose your body to this antibiotic that's not going to have any influence on your sickness. And unfortunately, the way antibiotics work, if you take them, you expose the bacteria in your body to that. You also expose the people next to you. And that's why antibiotic use is something that whatever you do is not only influencing you, it's influencing your family, your friends, and it has a global impact because all of the bacteria then gets resistance because we overuse it.
Okay. 011-883-0702. I'm taking your WhatsApps as well on 0727021702. Do you use antibiotics? How do you know you're using them properly? Are you concerned about how you're using them? Maybe you want to ask Andrietta some questions. How often do you take them? I've got a message here on the WhatsApp line from Kat who says, Clement, I have a toddler who is 2 and going to crash. She is always having a cough and running nose. The GP almost always prescribes antibiotics. I'm so scared of giving them to her. Often like once every, and I do it like once every 2 months now. And Andrietta, that leads me to the next question around the role of doctors and just healthcare professionals here. What role can they play in preventing overprescription?
So I first want to address the mom with the toddler. I'm also a mom. I know how difficult it is when your kids are sick. Now the thing is with crash-going children, they mostly get viral infections, and there are many viral infections around. So that will cause this runny nose, and the don't know if what's the right terms to use on radio, but the phlegm will actually get green in the end. Even that is not a sign of a bacterial infection. So these viral infections are extremely contagious. So if the one have it in the crash, all of the kids will get it, and it will make them sick. But please then just ask your doctor if he's really, really convinced that this is a bacterial infection, and if it's not a viral infection for which you don't need antibiotics. Unfortunately, you will in most of the cases need to take your child out of the crash for a couple of days so that they don't spread it to the other kids. And I know this is extremely inconvenient for all parents because you need to work. So I have lots of sympathy with that. But for most viral infections, if a child have a runny nose, even cough, antibiotics is not an indication for a cough. These respiratory viral infections will irritate your airways, which is your lungs and your nose, for up to 6 weeks afterwards. And if a child just gets the slightest, like, whimp of cold air, that will trigger a cough. And even the postnasal drip will trigger a cough. And I know it's very difficult when your child is coughing and coughing and coughing to not want him to give him antibiotics. But coughing is not a need for antibiotics. You need to have a viral infection.
Here's a WhatsApp voice note that's come through.
Hi, Clement. I'm listening to your conversation around antibiotics. I, for one, understand, the difference between bacterial and viral infections. So I don't take antibiotics as a norm. I'll let the doctor prescribe them. I just don't order them. I just don't get them when I get to the pharmacy. However, I think this conversation needs to be taken up with healthcare professionals, because obviously we can't, as as an ordinary citizen, get these antibiotics without a prescription. And the layman doesn't know the difference between a bacterial infection and a viral infection and so forth. So I really think that this conversation needs to be elevated to that level, and get healthcare professionals more educated around the uses of antibiotics. This is Asa in Olivedale.
Thank you so much, Asal, for that. Andrietta, any comments on that? I do want to ask also about what you think ordinary South Africans can do to protect themselves and to ensure they use antibiotics responsibly.
Wonderful. Yes, I would like Clement to comment on that. I agree that the conversation needs to be taken up with healthcare professionals. We have programs where we do our best to educate healthcare professionals, especially those that's working in the Mediclinic hospitals. However, what healthcare professionals, especially general practitioners, report back to us is that the pressure from the public is very, very severe on them, that a patient will tell them, I want an antibiotic. If you don't give it to me, I will go to the next doctor, or they think that it's not a good doctor, and that they feel that it is taking up so much time to explain to a patient why they don't want to give them an antibiotic. So they simply sometimes just fall under the stress of the patient to give them an antibiotic. So from our side, if we can just not ask our doctors for an antibiotic prescription, don't demand that prescription.
Yeah.
Tell your doctor that you know that there's viral infections which may not need an antibiotic, and ask them to have a look and only prescribe it if it's really a bacterial infection. Sometimes doctors will say, okay, I'm giving you a prescription, watch and wait. If you see your child or you don't improve, then get the antibiotic from the pharmacy. That's also a good option. Then you can see if you don't improve in 2 days or 3 days, then you take the antibiotic. So that's actually the way that we can go, is to just reassure our healthcare professionals, our doctors, that we don't want to demand the antibiotic. Give them the opportunity to really diagnose you correctly.
Let's go.
Then,
yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry. And then when they prescribe you the antibiotic, take it as they've prescribed. Don't leave some for the next time that you get sick, or share some between members of a family, or do something like that. Take it as they prescribe it when they prescribe it for you.
Okay. Here's some more WhatsApps that have come through.
Hi, Clement. So I've worked with bacteria in the lab for a substantial amount of time, and I can tell you that bacterial antibiotic resistance is such a big issue. And I think, just like your guest has said there, it stems from abuse and misuse of bacteria. And I think one of the biggest impacts as well of misuse and abuse of antibiotics when you're actually not sick with bacterial infection, or rather when you're sick with a viral infection, is that you also kill your beneficial bacteria that are in your gut, which are responsible for your immune response. So at the end of the day, not only are you creating more resistant bacteria, but you're also killing the ones in your body that are actually helping you to defend your body, because most of these antibiotics are not selective. When you drink them, when you take them, they don't select which ones are the bad ones, which ones are the good ones. They just kill everything.
Good morning, Clement and your guest. I was prescribed antibiotics after having pneumonia during my radiation treatment. Like post-radiation treatment, I developed pneumonia. Fortunately, I had never taken antibiotics before in my life. So within 5 days, the coughing stopped. It was a persistent coughing for 6 months, for 6 weeks, and shortness of breath. On the 5th day, I was much, much better. Thank you, Dima.
Thank you, Dima. I've got a question here, Andrietta, from Fahana, who says, what is the safest way then to treat viral infections without the use of any drugs, right? What are, maybe you can share some everyday steps like hand washing, or is it vaccinations that can help reduce the need for these antibiotics?
Absolutely. Just as you said, hand washing is the utmost and foremost most important thing that we can do to protect ourselves from infections. If we remember from COVID times, we washed our hands like crazy, and normal soap and water is good enough. You only need hand sanitizer if you don't have access to running water. But hand washing as often as you can, that's the most important thing. And then also, as you said, vaccinations. If you get your normal flu vaccinations, but also childhood vaccinations, that prevents you from getting sick in the first place. So then you don't need the antibiotics. So that's very, very important to prevent infections, is to wash your hands and get your vaccinations.
Okay. Andrietta van Jasveld, thank you so much for speaking to us, clinical pharmacy specialist at Mediclinic South Africa.
Escape the ordinary at De Hoek Country Hotel, Magaliesburg. A haven of tranquility and a 5-star masterpiece, unparalleled luxury and the perfect getaway just an hour from Joburg and Pretoria. Bring your team for an executive corporate breakaway. Plan an unforgettable wedding surrounded by breathtaking beauty. Indulge in exquisite fine dining and rejuvenate mind and body at our spa. Visit dehoek.com to discover your exclusive escape. De Hoek Country Hotel. Celebrate life where luxury meets serenity.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is street ahead. Warrior Paints, affordable, lasting, luxury.
Oh, hello. Let's do a little word association. I'll say some phrases, you see how they make you feel. Retirement, credit card balance, another interest rate hike. Still calm? Well then, you've got the F Factor. It's that special something that comes from having a clear financial plan to manage and protect your finances. If you broke into a sweat, you probably don't have it yet. Visit livewithconfidence.co.za to up your F Factor. Sanlam. Live with confidence. T's and C's apply. Sanlam Life is a licensed life insurer and authorized FSP.
Running a business is tough. You need tools that just work. That's why more South African businesses are switching to Mac. At iStore, we make it easy with 4,000 rands in added value when you switch. That's 3 years extended warranty and remote tech support, leaving you to focus on everything else. Switch to Mac with iStore, your expert partner. T's and C's apply. Mac at iStore. Run smooth as business should.
Local entrepreneurs don't just deserve your business, they deserve your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
7 minutes before 12 o'clock. So over the last few weeks, we have searched every corner of Gauteng to find the entrepreneurs who light up our province with their innovation, with their passion and their heart. You've nominated your favorite sports, you voted, and today, throughout the day here on 702, we're revealing the winners who have captured the hearts of Gauteng, the creme de la creme of local businesses. And this is the last winner that we're actually announcing on this show, but more winners will be announced throughout the show. And right now, I'm going to announce the winner for the greatest wedding venue. So in the category of the greatest wedding venue, the winner is De Hoek Country Hotel. And the owner of the Hoek Country Hotel is Kumo Shongwe, who is here in studio with us. Mrs. Shongwe, thank you so much for coming. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for choosing us. And thank you, 702 Lenders, for voting for the Hoek Country Hotel. We are so grateful.
Yeah, tell us more about the hotel. Where is it and what do you offer?
So we are nestled in the Magaliesburg area, and very close to it's an hour's drive, not even an hour from Johannesburg or from Pretoria to come to our hotel, the Hoek Country Hotel. We're a 5-star boutique hotel, also 5-star conferencing. We do conferencing, but we are here because we have been chosen as the greatest for weddings. So we do make weddings fairy tales come to life. We make sure that our luxurious rooms feel like something out of a storybook, offering a cozy and elegant stay for the couple and their guests. The moment you step outside, you'll find our immaculate gardens, which provide a truly enchanting backdrop for your ceremony and photos. Remember Insta, guys. But the real magic comes from our team. Our staff, Team The Hook, is committed to making sure every day, every detail, the way you want your wedding is perfect, from planning stages all the way to the last dance. They make the whole process feel effortless, allowing you to simply enjoy every moment and enjoy our fine dining.
So you already feel like you're on honeymoon and you've just been getting
As
married.
you arrive, you already feel like you're on honeymoon. Once again, thank you, Yoko. Thank you, 702.
Yeah.
Thank you, 702 lenders,
Yeah.
for choosing the Hook Country Hotel. Come and visit soon.
Yeah.
Come and get wedding. Come and get married there,
Come get
Clement,
married
please.
there. Well, what advice do you have for the people who are starting up? Because part of this is to also encourage people that are facing the challenges that you probably faced when you were starting the hotel. One advice you would give someone who's starting up?
My mom and dad used to say to us, hard work never killed anyone. And they were quoting somebody. So hard work always pays. So the harder you work, the luckier you get. And it is hard work, especially in the hospitality space, where it has to be every guest that arrives at the Hook Country Hotel is remembered by their name. We don't call you by your room number because we want you to feel special. So be prepared for the hard work. Be prepared to have very sore feet because you walk and you do at least 8 kilometers a day just moving from one place to another. But importantly, be prepared to feel great when the guest leaves and they're happy and they can't wait to come back to the Hook Country Hotel.
The Hook Country Hotel is indeed the greatest wedding venue as voted by you. Remember to go show them some love. Go check them out. As Ms. Shongwe says, you get there, as you arrive, you already think that you're on honeymoon. Visit them, experience their excellence firsthand. Go get married there. Go visit them even before you get married with your person.
Come and get
there.
engaged there, first
You
of
can
all.
even be engaged there.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you
the
so
Hook
much.
Country Hotel. Your excellence hasn't gone unnoticed. We see you, and you truly are the best of the best in Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Now, behind every great Gauteng business, there's a greater system making it look easy. Introducing Yoko Counter. It's the smartest till you will ever own, with payments and point of sale working together right out of the box. Ready to become the next Gauteng's greatest? Go to yoko.com for more information.
Mzansi, the wait is finally over. The great South African sale is here. Explore more for less with up to 50% off travel deals. Surf the waves, hike the hills, enjoy Gasi, and explore the wild. Book from 8 to 14 September 2025. Visit shortleft.co.za to book now and travel later. After all, it's your country. Enjoy it. Because nothing's more fun than a short left. Hashtag TravelWise Mzansi. T's and C's apply.
One festival, endless flavor, and 2 unforgettable days of timeless music. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, returns on 20 and 21 September at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. On Saturday, the stage erupts with Don Toliver, Questa, and Nkabi Zezwe. Then on Sunday, experience the legendary Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, Lyra, and more. The DSTV Delicious Festival, powered by Lotto Star. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Year in, year out, we're fixing tires faster than a Formula One pit crew. My team is on top of things like tire whisperers. If an unforeseen accident were to happen in my workshop, at least I've got My Way business insurance to keep the wheels turning.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Coming up
on the Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
All right, coming up next is Mandy Wiener on the Midday Report. Mandy, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How
Good.
are you, Clem?
Good. What's popping today?
So, Police Minister Feroz Kachalia is in Mitchell's Plain in Cape Town. Lots of concern around gang violence, escalating violence. So he's there with a delegation, including the Deputy Justice Minister. GDP figures are out. Progress, 0.8% GDP growth for the second quarter, up from 0.1% in the first quarter. So some good news there. The MK Party has filed a formal complaint against President Cyril Ramaphosa and Minister John Steakhouses. We'll hear from them. The president's actually due in Parliament this afternoon to answer questions. So we'll look ahead to that. And we'll look ahead. What's your prediction, Clem? Bafana versus Nigeria later today.
Oh, Bafana. We've been ready for this moment and we're going to get this one.
I'm with you.
All right, that's what's coming up on the Midday Report with Mendy Wiener. Thank you for listening to the Tuesday edition of the Clement Manyathela Show. We're back again tomorrow between 9 and 12. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. We begin with news just in. The economy has surpassed growth expectations for the second quarter of the year, ticking up by 0.8%. It follows an increase of 0.1% in the previous quarter. Stats SA released the latest GDP print today amid concerns that the country's economy continues to struggle to hit the right notes. Statistician General Rosenga